Hi, chat. Hello. Oh, it's a Thursday. How are we all doing? It is. It's delightful every time. Love the noise every single time. I hope we're all doing well. It is a... What am I getting? Fucking... Whatever. I'll deal with that later. I'm scrolling down. I'm scrolling down on the birthday list because I realized I hadn't done that. Gender fluid. Great. Good to confirm that that is still a thing. Hi, everybody. Congrats on remembering the birthdays yesterday. I am realizing now that I didn't post them in Discord today. Well, you know, if I remember, I remember. If I remember, I remember. That's big if true. I hope we're all doing well, chat. We're playing Mask of the Rose today. Which, this is a game that I have played a bit of, personally. I don't know how far into it I got. Not very. I played part of it. Lee, do you remember how far I got percentage-wise? Do you know that? But, you know, but I was also like when it first came out, so I think we could call this, not going into it with fresh eyes, but, you know, going into this, like, still in the first third, yeah. So it's like, you know, I don't know any, like, twists or anything like that, you know? I just know things have vaguely that happened in the first third of it, and I'm familiar with Fallen London, as I suppose how we will phrase it. I'm familiar with it. I have a Fallen London account. I haven't logged on in a long while, but you know, Lee really loves it, so I know it a lot from him. I'm doing, chat, we're playing a hyperfixation game for a mod. Chat, we're playing a game for a mod. You're caramel dancing about it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Boy, oh boy. Sans? He got scared. He got scared. He heard that this game also takes place underground, and he was like, but that's my game. But yeah, I've played some Fallen Londons for a while. So, and I know lore vaguely from Lee. You know, I know the lores. I know some things that happens within it. You know, I know the tone. Should I pull up my Fallen London account? I haven't logged in quite some time. Let's see here. I guess this is for people who have played before. Do my actions? Oh god. Oh boy. I guess this is for people who are familiar with the game, and also I guess people who aren't. Let's see here. Loading it up. Boy oh boy, and immediately it's like, I have messages from thousands of days ago. Boy oh boy, alright. Let's see here. Pull up, pull up over here. How do I want to do this? How do I want to show this, I suppose? This, I suppose? There's things that are happening over here. Professional, that's my money, I think. This is... What was my job? I'm recovering my lost memories again. The again is because that's my lore for my character. You play as a little guy. You play as a character in London. I'm a stalker, apparently, which is great. That's a great title for a job. You love to hear that. Love to hear that. Can get an earnest payment, or you can use I'll just get an earnest payment, thank you. I don't want to think about it. I got favors with the constables and the docks, that's pretty cool. But yes, where was I? Am I in the university? I'm in the university right now. I'm trying to... I think canonically, for my for my character. Every time I log in and I'm like, what was happening? My character just like is amnesiac. Just who falls into comas. Yeah, there's Orpheus. I remember my mandrake. Yes. My beautiful mandrake, who I put on my shelf because I love him. There is a cat in my room. I heard a jingle. Do you need to escape, ma'am? You're jingling at me. Do you want me to let you out? Want me to let you out of the room? Can I get a meow? That was a good meow. Thank you very much. I don't know if it got picked up on mic or not, but there you go. Oh boy. I'm not giving a good explanation as to what Fallen London is, I don't think. It is a game, basically, London fell into a cave. A bunch of bats put London in a cave. And it's in the banned from sending me letters in game to mess with me, damn. Bunch of them fell, they put it into the cave. This is in the, 1899. You're in a cave, it's fine, exactly. Just like, what did I have? What did I have on me? Like, what am I wearing? I'm wearing an incognito outfit. What's my emergency outfit? Okay. Just like, okay. Interesting. Interesting outfits. Hard wearing? What the fuck is that? We'll put on my evening outfit, maybe. No. Emergency is the funniest one. I'm wearing my emergency outfit. I have Sebastian the Nocturnal Smotherer on my head. That's my hat in this outfit. I'm wearing a sober dress. No adornment. I don't even remember that being a thing. I don't even remember this. Whatever. We got Benvolio the Bacon Thief as my, gloves. It's like rings or necklaces? Yeah. And goggles and a badge there. I got my weapon, Spiked Rosary. I think I see what the emergency is, like, reduces nightmares build up, reduces suspicion build up, I suppose. Rat skin boots. King, my cheerful goldfish. Reduces nightmares. Gloom is my destiny. Okay. Interesting. Yes. Interesting. What were my companions named? I feel like I named most, if not all of them. We got King, Orpheus, Makoto, Damien, Bruce, Damien with an A, and Damien with an E. We got, that one's not named, Lydia, Nagito, Sayuri, Kichiro, Karma. Any of you guys got names? Badger? Napoleon. Anybody else named? Johnny Croak! I really like Johnny Croak. That I remember. Okay, we can like sort of look around, I suppose. This is just the vibe remembering. Yes, this is we're in London. Yeah? Just like, I know what I do. I'm like 90% of my time I spend right here, and I truly, not the most ideal thing to do, really. But I just love hanging out here, alright? I just like hanging out here. I'll make money. I like making money. Let's rob a seance. Epic. This great? This cool? I think, yeah, I think I've showed off everything I needed to show off about that. Or, no, wait, this is what I wanted to show off, never mind. My stats and stuff. This is just for anybody who knows Fallen London who wants to, like, judge me, I suppose. But for everybody who doesn't, I mean, it is pretty much, yeah, 1899, you're in a cave and it's fine. You're in... London has been sunken underground, you know? We're down here. It's fine. We gotta hope. You just gotta hope it's all great. You know? You get You get, various things happening. The bats took us and we gotta deal with it, yeah. Sometimes you gotta murder guys, exactly. Exactly, they usually get better, yeah. Everybody, like, they can die, they tend to come back. There's the tomb colonies, which is related to that. Truly, I'm like, I don't know how much lore I need to say. I don't want to dump everything on here to, you know, when that's, I don't know what parts of it are relevant, you know? The bats are necessary to know about, right? That's important. Is that bats happened. And that masters exist. And that we're underground. They are. Yeah, there's devils. I'm like, I don't know what I can also say. I don't know what is a spoiler. You know, I don't know what is a spoiler for Fallen London and or this game. You know? There are so many more things on here than I thought. If anybody's curious, they could just pause and read this, you know? This is, there we go. The devils. I'm like, I remember there was a devil in the little bit of this game that I played before. But whatever. This game that I'm playing isn't Fallen London, but it's set within the same universe. It's set within the same city, you know? It's a cool time. And it's Pages, right? Who's in this? Is the master that's in this. It also has, I don't know if it's mainly a romance thing, or if romance is more just also here. Well, you know, there's a murder. Chat, there's a murder, and we're gonna solve a murder, alright? All this to say is that, you know, we're gonna solve a murder. I don't know how to describe this. See, this is why like, whenever there's a game that I don't know a lot about, I just go, I don't know, let's go for it. You know, I can't... I don't know. This is probably one of my worst intros I've ever done, I'm gonna be so real. One of my worst intros of all time. Let's see here. The birthdays today, chat. We have Ruruka, Ando from Danganronpa. Now, I don't immediately recognize the name. Let me double check. I'm assuming this is a character from Danganronpa 3, who I'm not really familiar. Okay, that's who I guessed it would have been. She's cute, you know? The confectioner girl. She's cute. You know? It's also Dex and Diana, the Vocaloid characters. It is their birthday today. And as for media release, there are two, which are Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and Howl's Moving Castle, specifically the Studio Ghibli movie of Howl's Moving Castle. I don't have the book on here, I don't think. But yeah, those are the birthdays for today's. I feel like I did such a bad job of intro that I need to just get into it immediately, and no, I feel like I can't. Oh boy, I'm like, I gotta recover by just letting the game speak for itself, you know? Like, please game, can you explain what you are for me? I'm doing a bad job of it. I'm failing. Let me in. But yes. I'm loading it up. I forgot to actually pull the game up before this, and now it's loading in. Oh, we do have the vague content warnings for this game, chat. Mostly just like, here, if I go back over to the game screen. I need to edit the content warning. We'll just say, we'll just do like content warning. Maybe just like spooky themes. I don't know. Spooky themes in this game. Sensitive content is what I wanted. Content / spooky themes. We'll say that. There's murder. There's murder. There's bats. I've been told that it's all pretty telegraphed. Anything weird, crazy happening, you know? Anything sort of bad happening, it'll be... Okay, we got 2 fonts. Slow, please. I like slow. Let me turn off cursive. Whoa. Music a little quieter, please. Thank you. Just slightly. Okay. We're into the game. Let's gaming. Let's gaming. Let's gaming. Your first foray into Mask of the Rose is unlikely to end as happily as you might hope. Never mind. Savor your successes. Delight in your disasters. Try again, wiser in the ways of the Neath. The city is thick with secrets, but they can't hide from you. As a side note, I don't know if I'm gonna give every character a British accent. I don't think I am. Just as a... I don't think I'm gonna commit to that. Just so we all know. It takes place in London, we all know this. In February 1862, with no warning at all, London fell through the surface of the earth. Just the funny ones? Only pages. This was meant to be a year of progress in industry. The Great Exposition. Trams. A new sewer system. Well, I mean, I would argue that this is a new sewer system. I would personally argue. It could stand to be a bit quieter. Alright. It was a bit loud for me as well. A little bit of that, maybe. Instead, we find ourselves dwelling in a cave. It's October now. Looks at watch. Yeah, I played this game on time. The fires have been put out. The bodies have been buried. But the future remains unimaginable. The time before, impossibly distant. In the past, who were you? Alright. We could be a dockworker's child. A child of the gentry. Oh boy. Let's see here. Allied with working class and with criminals, hell yeah. Gentry hobnob in high society and with the constabulary. Tailor. Tailoring. Contacts are wrong, artistically inclined. Damn, we can't be a housebreaker's child. That's fucking sad. I would love that, though. Nor can we be an undertaker. Nor can we be an academic. Either dockworker, gentry, or tailor. I feel like dockworker's cool. You know? Working class, we're cool. Probably buff, if we're helping out. You know? We could be strong. Down here, your name is whatever you say it is. Often there's no one left to remember who you used to be. Some people hold tight to the names they carried before. Some reinvent themselves completely. I prefer strangers address me as. We got doctor, professor, officer, secretary, brother, sister, reverend, intendant. Never heard that one before. Monsieur, madame, mademoiselle, miss, madam, sir, my lord, my lady, citizen, comrade, captain, lieutenant, doctor. Okay. Comrade is really funny to me, I like. And we could just get a random name if we wanted to, but my name is Mack. I have caps lock on, apparently. Mack. Call me comrade. I just want to hear characters calling me that, you know? That's me. Mack to my friends, comrade to strangers. That's... oh... transgender option. Sure. I mean, I can probably be trans with these as well, but this is, you know, I'm seeing the theming, I'm seeing the coding. Alright, now we get to choose what we look like here. Okay, let's see here. This, oh no, I thought that was a little skull at the back. No, it's not. Cool or cute name, yeah. Back at Animal Crossing. Ooh, I like this guy. Who's this? I like them. Like, let me get the circle off so I can look. Yeah, I really like this one. Yeah, I think that's the best one. I think that's the best one here. That's me. In the Neath, a true ally means everything. Happy Pride. When I find people to be close to, I am open to... I guess that's the all of the above. I love how there's no option where it's like, only romantic and physical. Fuck friends. That would have been funny, though. You know what? Let's not have any physical intimacy. We're on Twitch. I don't wanna... You gotta make at least one buddy, dingus. Never in my life. I'd be looking for someone to reciprocate my romantic devotion for a short while or for a lifetime. Friendship and matchmaking are possible too, but I'm not looking for physical intimacy. Not while Twitch is watching. Not while the TOS is happening. There we are. Chaste! I'll call it chaste. Sheesh. Alright, I'm happy with that, I suppose. Not so much happier calling it chaste. That sounds crazy. Right now, I'm meant to be helping with the census. Finding out who lives in my neighborhood. The first census results are due tomorrow. God damn, did I get, like, any of it done? If I turn them in, I get paid. The first money to come my way in nearly 2 months. If I don't, I'm gonna disappoint Grizz badly. She knew I was in trouble, so she went out of her way to find me work with her own employers. She even gave me a badge to show my affiliation. Badge of the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting. The front of the badge looks almost like a constable's badge, with a lion and unicorn blazoned on it. The back of the badge has some kind of symbol I don't recognize. Hot to the touch. I keep it with the clothes I have from before the fall, and a few odd items I found more recently. Ooh, my outfit! No, I have ADHD in the game. So relatable. It's so just like me for real. I don't have a hat. Hatless, going bareheaded is a bit chilly in this cave. Barefaced, good for the complexion. Ooh. Front of the badge looks almost like a constable's badge. Yeah. The most obvious thing about this flower is that it is extremely fake. Perfect for going out on the town, boasting and gallivanting. Fine, I'll wear this. And there's my cool. It brings all the merits of sailors, contempt for landlubbers and toffs, solidarity with one's own, and a rich vocabulary of insult and mockery. Hell yeah. Okay. Outfit notes. I look like I belong on the docks, and like I might speak my mind too much. The badge suggests I have more power than one would expect. Now if I go and do that, it doesn't say anything. Damn. I mean, I do have to do my job, so I should probably wear my badge uniform. Welcome to your attic! Yippee! From here, you may explore the city, recall the past, change your outfit, and more as the story unfolds. The game will save each time you return here, indicated by that icon. Right outside? Well, sure. The boarding house, that seems to be my only option, really. Host a visitor before bed. Ooh. Hello. I thought you were up here. She glances at the badge I'm wearing. I suppose I should be glad you're thinking about the census, even if you didn't get around to leaving the house. I react to that the way I react to many things these days. I was fully... Yeah, I turned it into a joke. That's just like me for real. Thought I'd wait for a change in the weather. Lovely snow, perhaps. There's no sunshine down here. There are no yellow pea soup fogs. There's no rain, except occasionally a fine mist. Londoners lost half our topics of conversation when we fell. Come tomorrow evening, we need to have at least a few census forms filled out. Or I'm going to be the one explaining to Mr. Pages. And if that happens, I'm not going to help you with your employment prospects again. Grizz works for the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting. It seems to agree with her. She wears trousers to work and comes home at all hours. It's very important to her, being taken seriously by these employers. The next thing I do is characteristic too. Compliment, reassert... let's be open and build trust. Very sorry, I'm sure. To be frank, I didn't like the look of the city today. Too many dark alleys. I swear we have to see... I swear to see we have some... Fuck. I swear to see we have something to turn in. We still have some time tomorrow. We have, what's the... She gives me a hard look. I feel like this is just... I feel like it's not, anything for this. She gives me a hard look, as though she could stuff some integrity into a person just by glaring hard enough. You know what? Try it. What do you think of the questions? They're written in the most peculiar spiked handwriting, and there are punctures in the paper, in random spots. Let's see here. Jokingly defend my reading ability. Are you saying you don't think I can read? This is not the usual writing. Here, try the questions on me. Say you've just knocked on the door, and I've come to answer it. Yes, what do you want? Hello, I am Cool Agent Guy. Good evening. On behalf of the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting, I have a few questions. Oh, how lovely. I am so grateful these ministries are looking after us. Sarcastically accept. Yes, that is just what people will say. You ought to be on stage. If I had ever considered such a thing, my mother would have beaten the consideration right out of me again. Not at all the thing done in our circles. Well, go on. What's the first question? Alright. How many people live in this establishmentation? Is that a word, establishmentation? My superiors are enthusiastic embellishers of the language. If you like, you can, translate into questions that are more likely to be understood. Right. How many people live in this establishment? 4. The landlady, Mrs. Horatia Chapman, a young man named Archibald Reed, myself, and a 4th character, very disreputable. I'm gonna take a joke option pretty much any time it's available. Love this love so much how the writer of this questions phrases things. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how much I should say. Like, even if it's just, you know, a thing that'll be revealed in this game, I'm like, I forget what's a spoiler for Fallen London and what's not. So I'm truly just gonna go based on whatever the game says. I'll be like, yeah, and then occasionally I'll be like, I know what that means. Moving on. You forget. Our basement has more rats than Noah's Ark. More than 2, you mean? At the end of its voyage, I should have said. Sometimes I'm in the mood to keep chatting, and sometimes I want to get to the point. Linger over the census in order to keep chat. Yeah, let's chat! Is anyone in this establishment enamorificated or impassioned? What does this even mean? You're asking if anyone here is in love. Just ask that. Is anyone here in love? No. Ask her whether she's sure about herself or me. Or tease. I feel like I don't want to come across as flirting. But I feel like this might do that, but I want to be like, you don't know whether, you don't know what my life, I definitely have a lot of friends, you know? That's what I mean by this, but I'll do it. What, you know the hidden secrets of my heart? Very well, write down whatever romantic confessions you like. I'll look in the other direction. Preserve your privacy. At this moment, a second visitor walks in. Archie is a medical student. He hadn't finished his training before the fall, but he has plenty of work now. Right after the fall, it was broken bones and cuts. Lately, there are fewer wounds and more diseases. Hi, Archie! I remember last time I played this, I was trying to romance Archie. I wondered where you were. I don't know, I never finished it. Who knows? Can you romance multiple people in this game? Or is it a one-and-done situation? You know that, Lee? You can? Hell yeah. Sup, Archie? Hello there, Archie. Couldn't wait to see me at supper, then? That wouldn't be why I'm here, I'm afraid. Grizz laughs. Out I went this morning to visit a patient, and what do I find pasted up on the wall? He holds up a broadsheet. There's a new decree from the Ministry of Cartography and Chirography that all maps and atlases are to be surrendered or put on the fire. It's your folk making these rules, Grizz. Oh boy. I'm not involved. I have no view. Goodbye. Will you be asking your Mr. Pages about these maps? One must respect the law. None of us knows what is safe down here underneath. Most likely there are reasons you can't imagine. Mac, please do collect at least a few census forms by tomorrow from whatever Londoners you are able to find. At the end of the day, I'll find you and we can take them to Mr. Pages together. New goal! Deliver a filled census form to Pages. Pasta water. Hi, Waffle. And now, I'll leave the two of you alone. She leaves, grinning like a mad thing, while Archie just looks flustered. Do. Can I not do both? Can I not? I want to establish a baseline of being chill. Are you okay? How are you holding up? Worse than Grizz, I won't lie. Seems there's no road out of here. Food from the Masters is a weird reprieve, but when you think of all else that might kill us below, scurvy and the like. A great hulking rock fell on a house down in Southwark. Did the roof in and near to kill the whole household? But I'd best be quiet. Likely to give you nightmares too, and I'm frayer out the old laudanum to help with the sleep. I've never tried saying that out loud. I've read that word many a time. I've never tried saying it out loud. Oh boy. Let's talk about the census. Grizz has me gathering census pages for the ministry. Aye, Grizz told me it was some such thing. Try to establish some trust. I've heard all sorts of stories, so I doubt you'll shock me. Indeed. You don't look like your heart is gladdened by true love, but I might have missed the signs. You engaged? Promised? I wouldn't say it's gone quite that far. You can write down that I enjoy someone's company if you want to tell your employer such a thing. What about before February? There was the last back home, and what did me mother do but promise me to her? Ooh. I'm gonna flirt with this guy. That sounds a long way to go to be finding a bride. Might be there's someone better suited here in London. Well, I never had much nerve for courting. Might be no one down here that would take a fancy to me anyhow. Question has stirred recollections he's not considered for a time. Is it bad to say I've not much thought of her since? She has very even teeth. My mother said overlapping teeth in a woman mean defiance, and gaps mean a light skirt. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh at that. I snort. There's stranger theories I heard in the medical lecture hall. And plenty of constables who thought we'd catch the criminals that road. I'm gonna flirt with him now. We've established that he's okay. His emotions have been established, and now we can flirt with him. You are a source of intriguing mystery. He gives me a funny, lopsided look, like it's just occurred to him that something could ever go well in his life. Oh no, are you okay? I just remember what's gonna happen to you later, you know? So I'm just like... Okay, are you... Don't... You know what? Yeah, have a good time right now. He's so pathetic. It's okay, Archie. We're having a good time now. It's okay. If I'd met the like of you in Scotland, I might never have come to London. Aw. Laugh at him. No, I'm gonna romance him. Fuck you. The thought hits me, but I don't show it. And then he disappeared, and then my vision went fucking blurry as hell and I passed out. Luckily he's a doctor, so it's fine. I keep track of everything in my journal. What conversations I've had, the plans I've made. How I'm feeling about other people. Okay, let's review. I have 0 pennies. Oh, boy. Okay, we need to deliver a filled census form to Pages. Conduct more census interviews. Tomorrow morning, Grizz will take me to see Mr. Pages. I'm excited for that. 259 days since the fall. Right, yes, I'm a comrade. Alright, day negative 124, moved into Chapman's. Day 40, began to use my true name. Day 220, confessions, asked Grizz to help me find work. My witty and confiding self. I really love this cameo. It's really good. Adorable flirt, fellow lodger, constable, landlady. Don't have any opinions on either of these guys. I'm just like, I don't know how to pronounce your first name. Do I just address you as Sing forever? I'll look it up. I'm sure that this is going to take more than one stream, so, you know, I can look it up in between. Alright. Or maybe I can look it up during an ad break as well. 260. Arjeet, you believe? I'll look it up just in case, but until then I'll go with that. 13 days remain in the season of confessions. Woo! The newspapers aren't what they used to be, but someone is still printing broadsheets these days. The headlines today read, River through London no longer to be known by its former name. Londoners warned of strange creatures emerging from waters. Hehehe. I don't know if we're ever gonna get off to Z in this game. Relive the fall of London. This will not cause time to pass. Okay. Look at them go! Look at them go! I am always reliving London's last night on the surface. I try to put it out of my head, but it's still there. The dimming of the sun at 3 in the afternoon, the sky turning the color of rust. The horrible bang and the cloud of dust from the direction of Westminster, the tolling of the bells. The horseman who rode down the street, livered in the garb of the palace, shouting, "In Her Majesty's name, go indoors!" And then the sky was full of bats. More bats than I thought could exist in the world. Wheeling, shrieking, defecating. People went indoors then, if they'd ignored the criers. Those that had no house crowded into the churches and under the bridges. Even now, I don't understand. How Her Majesty knew to send the criers, I know. But I'm gonna say that. The palace had been shuttered since that day. The royal family do not emerge. Surely if they had known this was coming, they would have departed London. It was only the city that fell. The rest of England, we assume, remains above. Hey, dude. I reckon it's a tornado. I've heard of something similar in the Welsh Hills back to 1760. Near light in the sky and a noise like a thunderclap. That's no tornado, love. It's a plague of Egypt. I let them talk. I've seen tornadoes. They come and then they move right on again. And they aren't made of bats. They say the tornadoes scattered livestock every which way. Sheep on rooftops and that. The ground shook again. I believe we can blame Mr. Bazalgette's excavations, digging about under London, causing a seismic disturbance. And what did he find down there but a cave of 3 million bats? Is that what you reckon? There are stranger things beneath London. That was the beginning of it, but we were down there for hours and hours. The sky darkened, and it didn't return to normal. Once, around midnight, Grizz went upstairs and opened the door to the street, but she came right back down again. She said the cobbles were galloping about. It wasn't safe to walk outside. After that first bit, the memories collide and get confused. I have trouble keeping track of which came first and which came later, and whether I'm imagining something. I've spent a lot of days like this. Thinking back, trying to piece together the bits of the puzzle. As if I could realize something that would make sense of it all. I don't think we have anything else to put on, though, so I guess we'll just venture out into London. Alright. There's exclamation points for both. This one has a heart on it. Woo! That's what the heart means. I mean, how much time do I have? It's morning currently. I guess we'll find out. We gotta do the census. And then what's over here? Take the census with Harjeet. Let's start with Horatia. I believe that was the, landlady. What's her name? It's worth it to be mindful of how others will perceive me. What role I play, what I can and cannot say, is constrained by my clothes. This was true before the fall, but it's even truer now. Names, identities, and relationships have all become so unsteady and unreliable. Horatia won't mind me in this. She won't mind me in this. Does it say anything different if I'm wearing this instead? Horatia doesn't attend much to what I wear. An indifference no doubt born of seeing us in all states. Not quite right, but I can try again. I'm gonna wear my fancy little badge then. If it doesn't matter, then I'm gonna wear my fancy little badge. I'm satisfied with this. I find Horatia in the basement, taking inventory of our supplies. The night London fell, all Horatia's lodgers gathered in the cellar. Horatia led the hymns while we waited for dawn. Around 3 in the afternoon, we admitted to ourselves that there wasn't going to be a dawn, today or any other day. Hehehe. Hello. I trust you're not having too much trouble with nightmares. I feel like I'm gonna do like a sort of this voice, I think I've decided. I don't know. Since the fall, we have all taken to greeting one another as invalids on the verge of death. The badge makes clear that I'm here for business, not for conversation. I'm working for the Ministry on the Census. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting have asked me to work on the census. I see. Ask making it clear this is for the census. What should I write down about the matters of the heart? Were you in love when you were younger? The butcher at the corner asked me a few times to be his wife. I couldn't say I was tempted. He had 7 children from his marriage before. I believe he was more attracted to the extra rooms in my house than to me. There's a woman who comes to the door just about every morning. Too many children and not enough food. Sometimes I have a penny or some old stew for her. I'll listen. And this morning, I sat by the fire and didn't go to answer it. After a time, she stopped knocking and just stood sobbing on the doorstep. Damn. Sounds like a gloomy story. It's a common one. What about work? Yeah, do you do anything else besides this? You don't have any secret business besides running the household, do you? The house has been my business for a long time now. My father left it to me. He bought it so I'd have a good place to live. He didn't want to leave it up to whether I'd find a husband. I'd best be off. The drawing won't take itself in. I have only platonic intentions toward Horatia. My face betrays my feelings. I just have time for one more errand today before supper. What, I can't flirt? I only have time. Okay. I mean, 2 is fine. I have 2. That's fine. Archie! Oh, good. That's not an option even for me. I guess Harjeet is over here. I don't know where Grizz is. Grizz left, I suppose. Hey, Archie! I consider what impression this will make on Archie. I'm satisfied with this. I'm wearing my fancy little flowers. Mack, it's good to see you. Duh. I did have a recent memory of him. That's true. Whoa! I'll go for it. I was remembering us all together the night of the fall. Telling each other it was some sort of engineering accident that would be put right. Little chance of that now. I've not lost a patient today. And there's no one raving and in need of confinement, so I'll count that to the good. That common? You meet a lot of patients like that. Aye, more than a few. It's the dreams that does it. What kind of things are they drinking before those dreams? They've been dreaming they've been buried alive, often as not. There's a great run of that dream at the present. If you see folk heading off to the graveyard with shovels and pickaxes, that'll be what they're about like enough. Huh. What do you do for that? What do you do for a patient like that? All I can do is try to calm them down a bit. There's no hope in getting them to bedlam. But there's a man that comes around and takes them anyway. I've not seen him at his work. I think I know who that is. But sometimes I'll go to see a patient again and find that he's been in and gone. Glad you weren't away. I'm getting more familiar with the way he looks when he's noticing me. Who do you miss most from the surface? Someone I took care of, we'll say. I don't know what that means, but I will say it. There was someone I looked after. I reminisce about how I came into being a caretaker at all, and what it meant to me. The day-to-day tasks, my moods, and theirs. None of it is strange to Archie, perhaps because he's looked after so many people of his own. Will they be safe now? I don't fucking know. I'm not certain. Best to hope so, then. Archie listens without interruption while I talk about my memories. The things I remember acutely, and the ones I'd almost forgotten until this moment. Thank you for telling me. We each have our own losses. You know what? I'm like, does this seem like the right time? Fuck it. I have. It's so abrupt. It's so blunt. You can still see that we each have our own losses as the previous thing that was said. I have feelings for you. Hey! I confess I'm glad to hear it. I didn't mind to say something earlier, but I thought it might trouble if you didn't feel the same. I'm so shocked this worked. What the hell? Just sprinting towards kissing Archie. Apparently. You know, I thought that it would be more subtle. It said admit some feelings, and I was really looking at the some like, oh, is this gonna be like, you know, I hold a certain affection for you? I'd just be like, you know, some weird like some fucking, you know, this sort of romance era type of shit, like, oh, the vaguely dancing around it. Just straight up, I have feelings for you. And you were roommates. Considering we were living in the same place. Though it might be ahead of the fair, you do mean feelings of a warm nature. Yeah, you're a nice... You're a nice. You're always kind to me. You make it easy. Horatia makes the house feel like family, and I cannot say I'm on that. I'm seeing you for more than a sibling. It seemed like Grizz might have a feeling for you. One feeling. Only one. It might not be wise to come between Grizz and what she wants. Guess reassure. Whatever you might think, I find you vastly preferable. I no accountant for taste. Da-da-da. Let's turn the conversation to other topics. Now, the weather has been quite something, has it not? If we zoom out for a second, this conversation is, oh, hey, Archie, how's work? You know what? Being a doctor in this situation has been really bad for me. But, you know, like, a lot of people are really suffering. It's not great. People are going mad and, you know, I'm missing a lot of things. You know, but, like, you know, how is life for you on the surface? Do you have anybody that you miss? Yeah, there was a person that I was looking after, and I don't know if they're okay anymore. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess you gotta hope that things are better there, you know? Cool, so I have feelings for you. Oh, good, me too! Good, I was really I didn't want to say anything, but yeah. Cool. How about that weather? Truly? Honestly, this is the ideal world for me. I feel like this is the ideal world of conversation. I feel like conversation should be allowed to be like this, you know? It's delightful. If you can call that weather. Oh. I once again passed out. Alright, I'm gonna go back to this. Here we are. Go down to supper. Oh, if it's just supper, then. Well, whatever. Grizz is waiting for me. Whatever census forms you have ready, it's time to take them to Mr. Page's. No wait, I did put it on, yeah. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I sincerely hope that's true. I have 2 of them! Come with me. Once I've shown you how to reach the Ministry, you can come back on your own and turn in others. Grizz has me gather my papers. With luck, Mr. Pages will decide to keep you on. With that, she leads me outside and down a side street that is no longer named. Ooh. We tack through the city like a sailboat beating up wind. We never go straight at the bazaar. More often than not, it's hidden by some intervening roof, alternating starboard and port. But every time I look up, it stands closer. I can't say shit about the bazaar, because there's like a few jokes I want to make, but I know they're spoilers. For Fallen London. Not necessarily for this game, I don't know. Finally, we find ourselves outside. Finally, we find ourselves standing in its shadow under its walls. Before us is a large door that once, I think, belonged to a solicitor's office. Grizz takes out a key, made of something other than metal, and unlocks that door. I'm like, I know what those symbols on there mean. Well, I mean, like, I know vaguely. I know what they are. You know, it's like when you recognize a language, but you can't read it. Like, I know what Korean letters look like. I just don't know what they say. Mind the pile of papers. I've already sorted them 3 times. Mr. Pages is very particular about the ordering of documents. Now, where has he gone? Usually he's here by this time of day. I know what voice I have to do. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Ah, there you are, sir. We were just coming to bring you the census documents. First installment of many, I'm sure. There is a tone in her voice. Somewhere between fondness and a nanny guiding an untutored child. I'm not ignoring it. I watch her curiously. She doesn't meet my eye. Does she have feelings towards it? Affection? Regard for a very strange and demanding pet? Or is it something more heartfelt? Mr. Pages, may I present Mack? Mack, this is Mr. Pages. The whole Ministry of Accounting and Recounting is under Mr. Page's direction. Express gratitude for the job. Thank you very much for offering me employment. The opportunities in London aren't what they used to be.
Grizz assures us that they are improvocated. It's highly gratificatory that the populace of London appreciates their move.
Sure. It doesn't seem that a reply is required.
Disposificated towards silence, I see. Perhaps a clerk better suited to Mr. Iron. What have you brought us?
I have this from Horatia.
Ah, most intriguing.
It gives me a shiny penny for my trouble. It's newly minted and has a portrait on the back of someone who is certainly not the Queen. The face on the back of the coin stares at me until the hair prickles on my neck. It reminds me of a debt owed, and I don't want to remember. And my breath hitches and slows and resumes. Yippee! Can I give you another one?
This one is of interest. Beneficent, lacking eroxity.
I don't have a filing index for that combination.
I will designate a sigil and suitable ink.
The colors on the last sigil burned my eyes.
What else is there?
I got this one. Pages takes my penny payment from a jar, bringing my stash to 2. There are other coins in there, and a few things that aren't even coins. Buttons, pearls, probably false. A horse head carved from ivory or bone.
We are grateful for your assistance. There are never too many papers. We did not expect much from Archie. Undercon Grizz has already revelated that he is a lightless character.
Damn. And you know what, chat? We'll revelate more on that during this ad break here. Chat. We're about to experience 3 minutes of ads. If you need to go to the bathroom or grab a snack or get something to drink, now is going to be a great time to do so. The game will be paused. You won't miss out on anything. Don't you worry about that. This is also your hourly reminder to fix your posture, to take your meds, to unclench your jaw, to charge your devices, to feed your pets. Do some stretches. Please take care of yourself. Do it. It's important. And it's not mentioned in here. It's not mentioned yet. Every time I'll say that the masters speak in Fallen London, it's always mentioned that their voices are incredibly high-pitched and squeaky. Just so everybody knows that I'm not doing that from nothing. But I didn't want to clarify that until after I had already done it. For anybody who doesn't know that, I wanted it to be a jump scare. Yeah, they have the squeakiest voices for beautiful reasons. Exactly. Let me double check here. How do I spell that person's name? Archives. Let me look up pronunciation. Let me mute the PC for a second. Let's see here. I'm just gonna trust the first video I see. Arjit. Arjit. Okay. Let me double check other sources. Harjit, I've also hearing. I'll just go with Harjit. I'm gonna try my best. Big hulking creature and it sounds like a mouse in a kid's movie. Yeah! As they should. As they should. If I go to Archie... I was really hoping that romantic interest would say Archie. Well, I guess maybe that says it for me? No. Archie is short for Archibald. I think I need to call off their relationship. Officially, we have the relationship I wanted. Unofficially, we could be getting on better. Damn, we just got together. Calm down. I love how it's just like, I realize I have feelings for Archie the very next day. Getting our shit together, you know? That is based. I could never in real life. We do got to interview Grizz and Harjeet. Can we interview Mr. Pages? I'm coping and winning. Once again, I'm like, I remember bits of this game. I remembered Archie. And I remembered the design of Grizz and Harjeet. I forgot that Horatia existed. I'm gonna be I think I combined her with Grizz in my mind. I was like, woman. And then, like, I got caught up in all of the other bits of it. Alright, the ads should be over. Come on back. You can tell Mack isn't into women. Great sentence to hear for anybody who just got back from the ads and just heard that. The business of the census is done for now. Perhaps I've earned a question. Look, I'm a curious little guy, alright? Why aren't we allowed to have maps and atlases anymore? We need them more than ever. London isn't arranged where it used to be. I believe the Ministry intends to resurvey the territory. In the meantime, it wouldn't do, you know, to have people using fallacious maps.
The territory of beneath is anti-dispossificated toward lying still.
Nod sagely. That is enough of my official duties for the moment. Grizz accompanies me out again when it's time to go. She makes a couple of remarks about how useful this will be, though she stops short of asking whether I'm in debt to Horatia. I haven't forgotten, though. Pay Horatia half my back rent, damn. As we make our way back to Horatia's, Grizz asks me what I think of Mr. Pages. She tries to make it sound like an idly curious question. Make light of Page's tailoring challenges. I tell her that I feel Mr. Pages must be a boon to robe makers throughout London. She replies that, judging by the ink stains, she does not think he replaces his wardrobe terribly often. The rest of the walk is taken up with speculation about Mr. Pages' taste in gloves and boots. Before we go back inside the house, she reminds me. We have many more people in the neighborhood to survey for the census. You know how it's done now, so you can collect them and take them to Mr. Pages yourself. I have other duties, and I may not always be around. I may not always be there. But Pages is... Well, I am certain you won't be harmed if you visit the ministry on your own. Ask neutrally whether she has feelings for Mr. Pages. Silently conclude that she has an interest in Mr. Pages. Or decide, and confess, that I have a flirtatious interest in Mr. Pages. You know that this is why I asked Lee if I could romance multiple people. I'll be glad to pay a visit myself. An opportunity, some might say. I won't offer any advice. I wouldn't enjoy giving it, and odds are you'd not take it. But be careful. Maybe be careful, shut up. Let's review the day in my journal. Hell yeah. Just opens the journal menu, cool. I really love this fucking cameo. It's so good. It's so very good. Dong. Dong. Alright. Next day. Another morning, another newspaper. Archie brought one, and the headlines read, Ferrets Menace Eradication Seeks Reliable Employees Unafraid of Rats. What's wrong with the rats? I like the rats. Don't worry about the rats. Recall the past. I remember the days of the fallen fragments. There are a few moments that I'm always drawn back to. Memories that stand for everything else that had happened. There are things I sometimes remember from that night that cannot have happened. Impossible things. If I concentrate, I can recall... Archie searched his books for some precedent. Constable Harjeet checked on us that night. I think Grizz did say something about her family name. Well, let's stick close to Archie. Archie's family is in Scotland. Everyone says that only London fell below, but Archie's afraid that something might have happened to them too. I'm surprised at you trying to read in this light, Archie. He held up the volume he was perusing. I thought I remembered there was a bit of about the Welsh tornado here, and I was not wrong. Makes an elevating change from your usual reading about Medici poisoners, I suppose. She had caught him a day or so before, reading a history of toxins over the supper table. Thanks to the cameo I picked as one of the Starter Basters design. Hell yeah! Based! If that's true, whoever made that design, you fucking killed it! You fucking killed it! It's so good! Hell yeah. This had been the subject of quite a few jests since. What is wrong, pray, with trying for a wee bit of knowledge as a druggist? Shit. Fucking Latin. Sola dosis facit venenum, as the books say. Nothing's a poison unless you give the wrong amount. Latin jump scare. We don't have any more outfits. Why do I keep looking every time? Hi. Okay, I feel like we need to get more, census things here. I do want, like, that is a, save up 5 pennies and give them to Horatia. Let's see here. Let's take the census with Grizz. Grizz always likes the sight of the badge. I'm satisfied with this. I thought you might still be in the house. Mr. Pages is not an early riser. In fact, he was very put out when I came to the ministry in the morning. I thought I might finish your census form. Mr. Pages already knows all about me. I would have thought it was a better use of your time to ask anyone else. But I suppose for completeness, we might as well. Let's simply ask. The ministry would like to know about any betrothals, marriages, or affairs of passion. Are there any in your past? Please be thorough. I was engaged once. The gentleman wanted a gracious hostess and a mother to his heirs. A very eligible alliance, according to my parents. Sympathize, I think. Sorry to hear it. I have no regrets. I found my way to the ministry. I would not have come to the attention of Mr. Pages if I were still addressing invitations in my mother's sitting room. Yeah, I'm gonna ask why she ever agreed to it. Why did you accept the proposal in the first place, then? I could have set him on a political life. She looks as though she might say more, but she thinks better of it. For a moment, no one speaks. I'll be off now. I wish Grizz a good morning. If you want company, you know, you're always welcome to pay a call. If we can use the term. Morning calls in our own parlor. It's not quite clear who should leave their card with whom. All the same, I welcome companionship. Make it insultingly clear I'm not interested in friendship, damn. We're gonna be friends. I would like that. I was used to a townhouse full of family and servants before I came here. And guests to dinner most nights of the week. The season would be starting now, I hear about. Of course, no one now can come up from their estates. Joke. Now, which of us will pour the tea for the other? Considering that the only tea we've had in the house for weeks is a decided odor of mold, I believe I will forgo that dubious pleasure. We will have to find some other suitable entertainment. Cool, you wanna, like, play board games? That leaves me with time for another errand before supper. Alright. Let's see here. We can visit Archie there. But I think we're gonna take the census with Harjeet. Harjeet admires duty, but does not always care for the ministry. It's hard to say what impression the badge makes on him. I'm satisfied with this. Hello. The streets outside Mrs. Chapman's are not easy. Thanks to my family history, I know where to find the immigrant neighborhoods of London. Tenterground Synagogue. An old synagogue and one that has weathered the fall very well. But whenever I need to find more of them, it's Harjeet who helps me. What voice do I give you? I have no clue. I have something for you, if you want it. What if I'm doing a big boisterous voice because I'm a cop? And this is what constables sound like, I suppose. This is it. Fuck it. Why not? I have something for you, if you want it. He produces a nearly new admiral's hat in perfectly good condition. I found it near the docks. No sign of the owner, and I can't wear it myself. I thought someone at Mrs. Chapman's might get use out of it. What, can you not wear a hat on top of your turban? What if you just kept piling hats up? Is that not allowed? Perhaps Lady Griselda. I got a hat, trimmed with gold braid. It makes a person look like a respectable representative of the Navy. Wearing it gives me a commanding, if slightly curmudgeonly appearance. Clothes make an impression on other people when I wear them. They make an impression on me, too. Sometimes I'm inspired to say things I wouldn't otherwise. I have a feeling this particular hat would make me a bit gruff and commanding. Put the hat on my head and consider what to say. Utter ungraciously influenced by the hat. Oh boy, I mean, is this... I mean, fuck, I don't remember the name of... I was gonna make a reference to a thing in Fallen London, but I don't remember what that island was called. Yeah, there was an attempt at a reference. Thanks. Oh, thank you. You could have got a penny or two for it by selling it to a second-hand clothes merchant. Harjeet does not comment on this. Polythreme! Yeah! I knew it began with a P and that there were a lot of syllables. I am an authority figure. I'm cool and authoritative. I require assistance with the ministry census. The truth is essential. I see. London was determined to collect everyone's name even before the fall. Agree, it's a peculiarity of the English. Yeah. It's a peculiarity of the English. You know what? You know what? There was no better way of phrasing it, yeah. You aren't the only ones ever to count your citizens. What do you wish to know? Let's just ask. Just ask normal style. Do you live alone? At one time I shared my lodgings. That was prior to the fall, but my former companion is missing. I'm gonna ask from a position of authority. I need you to tell me something. If you don't answer, I'll know you have something to hide. Are you married or otherwise connected? It's so funny to do, like, you gotta fucking tell me the goddamn truth. Take off that glove. Is there a wedding ring under there? This is not a matter I would explain to most people. You and I have known one another for some time, however. I think you would hear me out kindly, but if you would rather not carry my secrets... Love the bad cop roleplay. Don't worry about it. But also the government. Fuck. Like, I don't care about this guy. If you're a constable, I distrust you, but I also don't trust the government. Shit! I'm at odds! Nah, I'll just say from a dislike of other people's secrets. Perhaps it is better if you don't, in that case. I don't like to promise confidences when I don't know what I'm about to hear. An honorable answer. It's best not to promise what you can't be sure of giving. For the sake of the ministry, I fill in decline to say. There is a brief lull in the conversation. We'd become close, so I should tell you what I didn't say earlier. I came to England for the love of a gentleman. Oh, it's just that I'm gay. Okay, sure. Anyway, his name was Lucian and he served in India. As I thought. We met there and I followed him there. But since just before the night of the fall, I've not been able to find him. Like, I assure you, Harjeet, I assure you, Mr. Pages does not give a fuck. I still haven't forgiven him for the Oscar Wilde thing, but he does not give a fuck. He has never come back to the rooms we shared. I've searched exhaustively, but he's nowhere to be found. I don't know whether he died or abandoned me or left this city before the fall, and so remains on the surface. I'm gonna take a joke option if it's there. I nod sympathetically, and I allow an appropriate interval to pass. Then I tell the one about the tentacled hat. Harjeet holds out a tidy photograph, the sort that might be given to a mother of sweetheart when a man goes to war. The sitter has tremendous sideburns and mustaches both luxuriant and curly, definite brows, and a broad forehead of the kind usually associated with intellect. I can get through a sentence. And a sensitivity around the eyes, suggesting someone at once dashing and prone to a long consideration. Tell him truthfully that I recognize the photo. Well, if it's the truth, I've seen him. Sometime. I don't remember where. I saw him in the sunlight, though. So it must have been before the fall. If you remember anything more, or if you see him, please tell me. Okay. Help Harjeet find his lost beloved. Sure. Ooh, tell me about new destinations, please. Tell me about St. Albans. Do you know how to get to St. Albans? It's the parish church not too far from here. But since the fall, it's been easy to get turned around. Yes, I can show you. Here we go, we do a big walk. So we walk together, and every few moments Harjeet stops to point out a landmark. Or draw my attention to the places where the air smells different or the sound of church bells can be heard. St. Albans proto-martyr. St. Alban was the first English martyr, a point of considerable pride to the local vicar. It's the church of our parish. Guys, this guy died so good. You wouldn't even believe how good this guy died. Martyrs are funny to me. St. Albans proto-martyr. This is the closest church to Horatia's. Ty? I'm scared of this guy immediately. He scared me. He looks me over and he does not see a parishioner. Very much no. I see the masters are meddling with the affairs of the church. I'm gonna talk like this, I think. I suppose it was inevitable that they would turn their attention this way in time. I'm scared of this guy. I'll try and draw a personal connection, given that we were dock workers. I go by Mack. Yorkshire. Okay, wait, give me a second. I love Yorkshire accents. Give me a second. Okay, I don't think I can do it immediately. I got my brain short-circuited and I can't remember anything. Fuck. I love Yorkshire accents, though. Whatever. Maybe it's just a name. That doesn't mean that he's from Yorkshire. Can work up to it, yeah. Theophilus with a wick. It's a Yorkshire name. I'll be easing into it. Back in the day, my family were dock workers. I assure you, I'm no good at meddling. I'm here to take a few small notes. I'm working for the Ministry on the Census. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting have asked me to work on the census. Theophilus looks faintly mutinous. Okay, you're growing on me. A decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. I mean, that is funny. I snicker. I suppose we still have a month and more before Advent. Let's try to establish some trust. I want this... You've been silly enough. You've been matching my silly a little bit. I live in Mrs. Chapman's boarding house. That at least offers some companionship. I see. Do you live alone? Theophilus is resentfully silent. I live alone in rooms provided for the vicar of this parish. There's a woman who comes twice a week to clean. Well, there was. Visits have been more erratic of late. She stole several spoons and a chafing dish from me. And my second best... chasuble? Never heard that word before. Who knows what she thought to do with it. When I did not turn her off for dishonesty, she lost all respect for me. In retrospect, it was an error. I thought to show mercy. Now I sleep on damp sheets. Damn. Let's simply ask about his romantic connections. Are you married? I was married. The lady was 2 or 3 years older than myself. She's a very sensible and capable woman. Her name was Anne. Let's back off what might be a sensitive subject. It was. I'm sorry. Perhaps it is a recent loss. Not recent, but a loss all the same. On the other hand, it's a comfort to remember her. No one here knew her. No one here ever speaks about her. Hello? Oh, is that who I think it is? I didn't get this scene before. I didn't visit this place when I was playing last time. Is this who I think it is? It is? Hi! Yippee! Hi! I knew you only show up in, like, ominous ways. Oh, I'm so... Hi! It's my voice. You know what? It's so... I can't say shit about it without spoiling Fallen London, huh? Hi! Something has landed on the roof. It sees us. Hi! I wonder what that was. Bat! Bat. Bat. Make light of this obvious danger.
Gender fluid.
He's not wrong. It's much larger than the bats we had before. Maybe they're better fed down here. If you'll permit my saying so, I don't find that a comforting observation. There are, I believe, some species of bat that eat fruit. But if that's what these lived on, they'd be as hungry as the rest of us. The first few days weren't bad. People had food in their pantries still. Old loaves of bread, leftover joints, fruits, and jams. Nothing new was coming into the markets. No new fish, no vegetables from the farms. It's landed there a few times before, especially when the choir was practicing. Shout wildly at the thing. Suggest that it is drawn to the music? Could be it has a taste for a nice bit of singing. Just as well the opera has been suspended in that case. It might have been carried off by society by now. It might have carried off half of society by now. It wouldn't have been carried off by society, it would have carried... I'm doing great. The thing up there is gone. Bye! The Tenterground Synagogue is in better condition than our little church. I wondered whether that signifies the direction of divine approval. How's work? Let's simply ask about it. You're a vicar of the church and nothing else? From time to time, I've considered offering myself as a tutor to some enterprising pupils, while my Greek and Latin grow rusty. But I never put the plan into practice. One of these days I'll remember what specifically a Yorkshire accent is, and I'll get back into it. I'm just, like, making mental notes to myself of, like, things to double-check before I stream again. You know? but never put a plan into practice. Now, as we see, the education of the young is no longer a primary concern in the best houses. It was good of you to stop in. Lord, see you safely home again. It's nearly time for supper! I gotta eat. I gotta eat my dinners. I want to take this hat off. This hat's making me rude, you know? I'm gonna put on my corsage for dinner, I think. I'm gonna be having a good time here. It's all gonna be great. Hello! Right, I was doing like a breathier voice. Did you see that woman? The one that came yesterday asking for doctoring? Aye, what should it be but nightmares again? Admit to having odd dreams too. Have they been about a well? I swear to God. Poor lady. I don't sleep well under a rock roof either. I don't think anyone sleeps well down here. Who is that? Well, what voice was that? I don't fucking know. That was definitely not me, though. I don't think anyone sleeps well down here. Could you do anything, love? I've only a dram of laudanum left and no more for a few days. There's fuel enough for the moment if you need to start a new tincture. There's something else I've been brewing up, so to say, but in case it did not work, I... Take something out of his pocket. A lump wrapped in paper or leaves, just long enough for Horatia to see. Opium? Goodness. Well, wherever you got it, don't let anyone see it before you've had a chance to use it. Silence falls. Yummy, yummy. I chew diligently. When they got hungry, people turned inventive. All the pigeons around St. Paul's, they caught and plucked. More than one society lapdog was turned to stew. We finish eating. Nice. Alright. Put this back on, I suppose. I might be able to go out and, talk with Archie before bed. Oh, let me put on my beautiful corsage first, then, if I'm... Hello. Archie finds me upstairs after dinner. I cannot stop thinking on the Ministry of Cartography. There's something not right there. If you'd let me show you what I'm thinking of. Point out I'm always interested in him. That's cute. Any interest of yours is an interest of mine. Aye, well, it's a serious matter, so pay attention. Not that I mind you giving me that look. Carry on, just so you hear what I'm trying to tell you at the same time. It's a way of sorting out my thoughts. When I started, it was to think through a treatment. But it's good for all sorts. Stories, schemes, things that might be true or things that don't have to be. While he's talking, he's getting out some bits of paper, written over in his own handwriting. Watch closely. Ooh, welcome to story crafting! From time to time, you'll be making stories about things you discover underneath. Sometimes other people will ask you to bring them a story. They might want a true account, or they might want fiction. Either way, you'll come here to create the story they want. Who? This is a slot. Slots contain the elements of your story. This is a who slot, meaning it can contain a character featured in the story. These are all the character tokens you can currently put in the slot. As you meet more characters, you'll gain more options. Well, I gotta say Mr. Pages, right? Excellent! You can select the slot again to choose someone else if you'd like, otherwise let's continue. Yeah, this is a story about Mr. Pages. Characters in the stories you craft here can be driven by motives. And these motives spur them to act. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm considering painting my nails a bit better. I did a coat of them this morning, but I feel like I need to touch up some of them. I might just be like casually, like if I'm reading some text, like let me just... that one's a little off. Tokens for actions and motives are represented by fragments of text rather than pictures. Assign a token to the motive and action slots before you continue. Okay, motive, an unknown purpose. Hoped for power. What's this question mark on here? Driven by unknown motives. Hoped for wealth. Yeah, I think for an unknown purpose. Employed in plotting. Engage those around it in nefarious schemes. Well done, delicious friend. Let's continue. Alright. Not every story is a single-hander, of course. Commonly, a second character will feature as a friend, an enemy, or a victim. Dun dun dun. Select that. The second person in your story needs to be a different person from the first. Notice that the token for the character you chose first is marked with a cross. If you assign that token to this slot, it'll vacate the first character slot. You try that now, you may continue and both slots are filled. Let's go with Grizz. Sometimes two tokens can't be placed together because they don't make sense together. More often, you can mix and match based on whatever you've learned about the world. You'll discover more variations in the course of play. Okay. Motive feared the other. Sometimes you'll be asked for a story when a certain elements can't be changed. In that case, these slots will be locked. You can change everything else about the story, but not that piece. Finally, sometimes you can put an unknown into the slot. It means you think there's another possible answer, but you need to explore the world to find out what it was. Building a story with some unknown elements gives you a hypothesis you can ask other characters about. Neat. Well, this final slot? We'll just go with obeyed. Theory of obedience. Ministerial expose. You have a definite opinion about what happened. When you get a message about a story completed, that lets you know what kind of story you've built. I got a... what was it again? A ministerial compliance or some shit? Onward. Whenever you're done working on a story, finished or not, you can leave the story crafting board and go and tell the other characters about your idea. Have fun. I have a friend below that can take what we learn and put about it in the papers. I told him I knew someone that might be able to bring back a few secrets of the ministry. Verify whether he wants me to spy on my own employer for him. You want me to bring back information about my other employer? I can share some funds, in the spirit of shared enterprise. Here, you have a try. Make me a tale of Mr. Page's for the papers, eh? Why not? Why not? To Londoner. Forbade mapping. Obeyed, I suppose. The typical Londoner complied. Protected London? Knew what was best for London. I mean... I don't think the typical Londoner trusts. Hypothesis? Pages unknowable. And then this is... Pages tyrannical. Pages desperate. I mean, it mentioned this before. It was like... it would allow people to think their own memories were at fault? Yeah. I'm gonna go with this. That, I think. How do you feel about that? Aye, well done? I don't care to have things hidden from me for my own good. It's a tale we could spread to others. Wake London's suspicions. Put them on their guard. I could take it to the press. Now, you might wonder what is the purpose of having a scrap of paper just to say that what you don't know. But I use that to spark a question I want to ask. Here, what would you do if you wanted to interrogate someone about why Mr. Pages was up to his ways? Okay, let's try. For unknown purpose? You want me to do that? Ah! A fine question about what Mr. Pages intends for us all. Make a question like that and you'll be asking folks why Mr. Pages outlawed maps. Same as I asked Grizz yesterday. You've got the way of it. Questions to ask anyone who will reply. Answers to bring to me. If you don't mind giving Mr. Pages all manner of stories about the people that live below, then you can go on with it. But if you'd rather have another way of making your bread, you might investigate while you are there. Ask him questions. Ask other people questions about him. Find out a thing or two. If you make up the questions you want to ask, you can investigate with anyone who might answer. Earn your pennies helping the citizens rather than those creatures in their blankets. In their blankets. I love that, like, my two guys that I'm in, like, these are my romantic interests are, like, diametrically opposed forces. And you know what, baby? I'm bouncing in the middle. I'm ping-ponging from side to side, you know? Hell yeah, I'm doing that. Sounds like it doesn't require upright penmanship. And that makes it superior to census work right there. Don't it just? It's great how they're literal opposites of the scale in the game, yeah. And I'm the guy... I don't want to say I'm holding up both sides of the scale, but you know, if I'm contributing to both, you know? And the truth has its own... That's not Archie, and the truth has its own value. I'm glad to hear you say so. It's no easy thing fighting the doubts on my own. With Horatia telling me I have the fidgets and Chris saying I should be quiet and trust our robe-wearing masters, I should let you get your sleep. It has been 2 days! This is day 2! Oh my Jesus Christ! Yeah, I'm in love with them, sure. Marriage is crazy. Marriage is scary. Let's review the day in my journal. Bring Archie theories about the ministry. Help Archie find his lost beloved. Provide Pages with 7 census forms. Pay Horatia half by back rent. Hell yeah. I only have 2 pennies right now, but I have 3 census pages, so I could get some more, you know? I could get some stuffs there. Story crafting ideas discovered. Oh boy. That's a lot. Dong, 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 dong. 11 days remain in the season of confessions. Another morning, another newspaper. This morning's lies open on the table. Beware ailments caused by lack of sunlight. Cholera, scurvy, female distemper. Female Distemper is my favorite band. Build a story. Ooh. Offer Archie stories about the masters that might shock the ordinary Londoner. Was gullible and ignored. We don't have any actions. Took unknown actions. I need to ask somebody about it. Pages undecided. We'll just have that there for now. I wanna... Can I... Yeah, there's no more stories. New needs changed. Hope for power. Hope to save London. Beautiful outfit. Let's recall the past again. I reach for another memory out of that jumbled grab bag. There are things I sometimes cannot... There is things that I sometimes remember from that night that cannot have happened. Impossible things. If I concentrate, I can recall. Lucian just before the fall. Constable Harjeet checked on us that night. I think Grizz did say... Wasn't Lucian... Yeah, I can help him with that. It wasn't the night of the fall. It was a little earlier, when we were still on the surface. Just a few days before. I saw a party of drunk men, most older and quite distinguished, but accompanied by a younger officer. He was the most drunk of all, but he kept talking about warning everyone. He was obsessed with some grotesque impending disaster. What disaster? Something to do with theft and darkness? I can't recall now. A conversation half overheard, half a street away. But the end is that the other men got tired of his insistencies and his drunkenness. So they hoisted him under his arms and carried him half resisting into one of the houses across the street from Chapman's. That is, into a house that is no longer there. Damn. Well, that's not good. Alright, let's go outside. Look for pretentious census fillers. Nothing to do at St. Albans. Build a relationship with Grizz. Discuss theories of ministry behavior. Can I not do both? Harjeet, I got bad news. I wonder what impression this will make on Harjeet. I don't want to wear the hat, and this isn't ministry business, so... Whatever bad blood there is between me and Harjeet, he very clearly did not forget about it since last we met. Let's... Yeah, describe the flying beast first. I was at the church when something enormous landed on the roof. Not a bat or an ordinary bird. It looked in on us from above for some time before it gave up and flew off. I go on for some time and make no effort to hide how frightening the whole business was. Sure, frightening's the word. The description becomes more frank as I go on. Harjeet listens, nodding. I have, perhaps, created some trust between us. Harjeet seems to debate whether to share something. I guess we can move lightly to new topics. I laugh, but let the subject drop. Harjeet hints that I should say a bit more about myself. Invent a story of my elevation. Now I want to boast a bit of my difficult childhood. I sketch in a little of my family history, the shabby housing of my birth, my father and uncle working at the docks, the smells and sounds that surrounded me growing up. I pepper the story with the most outrageous and silly of events, with special attention to the accidental near drowning of an important elephant.
Impressive indeed. Right, yes, sorry. Bigger. You are an inspiration to the neighborhood. I hope they will notice and emulate you.
He does not say it, but I have often noticed he's the one the neighborhood children notice. Fuck. Just yesterday, a little boy put on a blue coat and strode several times around the courtyard. It seems I have passed some test. Okay, so bad news. I tell Harjeet the story of what I saw when Lucian was drunk.
Tell me everything. Was he angry? Hurt? Did he strike anyone? Could you hear who it was he wanted to warn?
I explain everything I can.
Then he's beyond my help. Beyond reach.
Goal complete?
You remember things I've forgotten. The building might still be there if approached rightly. Sometimes one can find one's way around the fold. But it's hard to find places I never saw in the first place.
Listen neutrally, I don't care about... He's a constable! That's a line I don't cross. Look, he's hot, but that's a line. From a certain point of view, I am one of Lucian's personal effects. A thing that should not be here if he did not exist. A thing that might be edited out of the Neath in time. I think when I forget him, I will also vanish. What? I don't follow. How is that even possible?
Things get lost from the Neath. I don't know why, I only know it happens. I dread the thought of being swept away.
Would you cease to exist? Die?
Or only go back to the surface. There are stories in the newspaper. Apocryphal or not, I don't know. of people who, after a period underneath, found themselves walking in some sunlit field above. Maybe I would be in the Punjab again, back among my own people. They say Duleep Singh has gone back there. With London gone and the Queen fallen below, there was nothing to prevent him from returning to Lahore. Perhaps he is even now restoring our empire to its former state. So you want to go back? A few months ago I wanted nothing more. But my love for Lucian was also so imperative. If the cost of my homecoming was to forget him, I am not sure I could have brought myself to do it.
Yeah, thank you for trusting me. I'm glad you told me that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, give me a new place to go, please. The market. How do you get to Hogs Lane Market? Archie shows me the way, as he did before. At certain points, he makes me look up at the stalactites above and fix their relationship in my mind. Hi, stalactites. They sparkle with something other than stars.
Don't treat the stars like constellations. They do not stand still.
Neither do the stars, but I guess I don't know if we know that. I don't know if, like, you know, it's not really relevant. Whatever, that's not, you know, it takes a long time for the stars to move from our point of view, whatever. Likely just a corruption of Hog's Lane, but I'd keep my pet pig on the leash all the same. Hello. What are you up to, then? In the market for new clothes? Damn it, I'm still wearing my fancy. I should be wearing my, my cool. I should be wearing my authority. Let's go straight to the point. There's something I wish to discuss. Welp. What do you got for sale? I'm broke. Ooh. Respectable and ladylike, respectable and gentlemanly. Crafty and inventive. Something home at university, a garment for society. Ladylike straw hat suitable for making new friends, a gentleman's top hat suitable for making new friends. I don't want to spend my money. How's work? How is it? Is it good? You don't have any other kind of work besides what we can see here? Here's the thing about working in the houses of fine ladies. They leave their letters lying about and tell themselves you can't read. They gossip about their affairs and fancy that you're deaf. Well, I have a rule, and it shows a generous and charitable spirit at that. First time you forget I've got eyes and a brain? No harm. I shut my minces and I keep my hound's loves clamped. Do it again? Your secrets are mine and my secrets are living. Hell yeah! Note that I also embrace opportunities when I find them. Good thinking. The owner of a secret doesn't know when it's been stolen. As you can see. Better to be able to take an opportunity when it's offered than to make a plan. Plans break. Well, top a room for me. You come back around, ask for Ivy. I'm about most days in market hours. I have only platonic intentions towards Ivy, but she's cool. My face betrays my feelings. You know, that face you make when you know that somebody has decided to befriend you. I can just manage another errand today. Alright. Yeah, I should like to put this back on. Like, should I go and get another... Why is there a money symbol on that? Let's continue. I want to discuss the ministry ship, maybe. If I look over here, since it's filling shoppers, I do want to meet new people, but also Archie. I've been very Archie focused. Let's go meet other people. It's hard to guess what outfit will ever will best go over in this environment. I'm satisfied with this. Hello? They peer over my badge. I'm not familiar with that ministry. It's new. We are on our way to services, so this is not a suitable time for ministry business. Wait here, Rachel, or you can stand a bit to the side if you want, wherever you're comfortable. I'll speak with this person. It won't take long. Shouldn't, anyway. My family were dock workers. Isn't that cool? Mack. Up until not too long ago, I came from a family of dock workers. Not that names mean what they used to. David and Rachel Lando. Rachel is my sister. What can we do for you? I am working for the Ministry on the Census. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting has asked me to work on the census. David shows no enthusiasm for the ministry. Based. I'll answer your questions, comrade. Yay! We got our first one! If you will answer mine. Call it character research. Are you having peculiar dreams down here? Yes, I am. Yes, from time to time. Of a land of thick green jungle and an orange sun high above, of colors you don't see in waking life. I wonder what you're referring to. Yes, sometimes. People miss sunlight and foliage, so they dream of that. It's a bit like being hungry and dreaming of cakes. Do you see a bird with 7 heads? No. Go ahead with your questions, comrade. I guess we'll start off with you, miss. Well, who else lives in your household? Our home contains myself, my brother, and our housekeeper. It isn't a grand establishment. We had another housekeeper for many years, but she passed away. And Phoebe, our servant, had lost her place with a neighbor of ours. Crazy question. Are you married or in love? Oh, not recently. I was in love once, so I imagined. Charlotte Carringham. She and David had an understanding. She converted, in any case. Becoming Christian suited her social aspirations. Rachel. Yes, I take leave to dislike your unworthy suitors as heartily as you dislike mine. Milton is a yellow-eyed, flash-dressed, hot-handed creature at least 2 decades too old for my sister. Rumors of devils are frequent in this city. Perhaps Milton is one of them. Oh no, could just be another weird guy with yellow eyes. What does it? Does it sound like zzz or what? Like I hardly think he and Charlotte are comparable. I mean, any more info? Oh dear. The rules of polite society have broken somewhat in the fall, haven't they? Nothing of the sort. He's a devil. Or rather, he belongs to the group using that name. For the census, of course. Exactly. Milton is an artistic inspiration. You're not a writer yourself, comrade. You cannot guess how much the fall has disrupted our sort of work. Characters have certain tastes, certain preferences, certain prejudices. All I need to do is imagine them in new circumstances and their reactions write themselves. But now, we've all been at least a little cracked by the fall. How does anyone behave? Who can say? You always said you write from observation. You can still observe. Since the fall, there's no pattern in what I see. It is only home that makes sense to me, and I cannot make my whole novel about a brother and a sister lighting candles at Shabbat. Well, we can learn more about these two after the ad break, chat. We are about to experience 3 minutes of ads. If you need to take a break, now is going to be a perfect time to do so. If you need to go to the bathroom, or grab a snack, or get something to drink, now's the perfect time to do so. Please take care of yourself. It's important. This is also your hourly self-care check-in. You need to fix your posture, take your meds, save your files, unclench your jaw, charge your devices, feed your pets. You gotta do some stretches, bitch. Oh boy, take care of yourself. Do it. Do it. You know? You know? I got 4 census pages. I need to give 7 to Mr. Pages. I don't know if the one I got from Archie counts or not. Cause technically I got that before. Before I gave him Archie's. How am I feeling with this one, gamer? I mean, I vaguely remember, I remembered these two, David and Rachel, by design, and I remembered that there was a devil involved. I don't believe I met Theo before. I don't remember Phoebe. I don't know, I just know what's going to happen here, at least, like, soon. And I'm just like, when does this happen? There's a part of me that's so stressed about it. I'm like, when does murder happen? I forget? Am I gonna be able to do things? Am I gonna work it out? When it says, like, the season of confessions, is that how much time I have, or is there more after that? I don't remember. I'm just like, I wanna save everybody. I know that it's like, when is the murder mysterying? Exactly! Exactly! Oh boy. That's for like this section. That's what I thought. But yeah. There's just a part of me that was like, this isn't just this, right? But yeah. Oh boy. There's a few chapters, basically, yeah. How many characters are in this game? Because I feel like there's a million billion. Oh boy, I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into this. And there's also, I know when you load up the game, it literally goes like, hey, your first try probably isn't going to do good, alright? You gotta get used to it, you gotta figure the things out. When you're learning things, you're gonna make different choices than when you already know them. And I'm like, I have to make every choice perfectly immediately. You know? And I'm sure part of that is just because I'm a competitive person myself. And then the other part of that is, I'm streaming this. You know? Plus second tries give you fun starter backgrounds. Yeah, I really wanted to be that thief, but I was like, fine. I can be a dock worker. I'm gonna act like a thief. You know? Because that was my beloveds. It's so hard to make David like you unless you unlock the nerd origin story. Nice. Because, I mean, that in Fallen London, that's what I would do. As I said, I was hanging out in the Flit. Shadowy was the first stat that I maxed. I love doing that shit, you know? I love hanging out with all them. I'm hanging out with the fucking urchins. Having a grand old time. Do. Alright. I'll hold my tongue. The rest of the world must come into it somehow. Milton helps me sort of the rest of the world. He can make sense of anything, even a viscountess running down the street and her peg noir. I've never heard that term. It's easy to understand a misbehaving viscountess. Everyone else is a stranger. Let me say, Mack, Milton smokes rose-scented cigars. He helps me. I mean, what do you, is smoking rose-scented cigars like a metaphor? I don't Is that like a, he bats for the other team? Because that's the vibe I got from that, but I don't know if that's what you're saying. Okay, Rachel, tell me about, Are you in love? Are you married or in love? No, I wouldn't say that. Milton is only a friend. Just as well, too. In the times before, you would never have darkened the door of such a person. It's a thing devils do, and also sorta gay. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense if they're rose-scented. Yeah. Alright, that's all I needed. Goodbye. I wish them both a good afternoon. I feel incredibly out of my depth talking to you two. Goodbye. We're expected elsewhere. I'm not feeling well enough for this. You've set loose one or two ideas, for which I certainly owe you something. She produces a card and hands it to me. It provides her address and guidance to reach it. Thank you very much. A well-appointed townhouse, suffused with the homely glow from its tall windows, home of the Landau siblings. Goodbye, then. Platonic. My face betrays my feelings. Goodbye. It's almost time to eat. Got more people there. More options. Da-da-da. I'll just keep this on. Go down to supper. Hello, hello! Delicious! Very appetizing. I thought I smelled a stew. That's not it. Whatever. There it is. There it is. I got to it as soon as I said whatever. I thought I smelled a snoo. A snoo. Fuck! Nothing ever goes right, does it? The pot's on the table, Max. Sit where you like. I don't want to know. So what, I laugh and let the subject drop. For a moment, no one speaks. Okay. I chew diligently. Dinner reaches an end. Review the day in my journal. We got 2 pennies and 5 census pages. Delightful. 2, 6, 3 days since the fall. 10 days remain in the season of confessions. Another morning, another newspaper. The headlines today read, Ministry of Accounting and Recounting calls on citizens to cooperate in ongoing census. That's true. Recall the past? Let's see here. There are things I sometimes remember. I think I've already said that. I glimpsed something in a bit of mirror. In a mirror, I saw something that wasn't my reflection. A Mongolian woman. She sat at a desk. I like how that's like, yeah, I'm able to tell that they're Mongolian. She sat at a desk in a flooding palace, and the milky water had come level with her knee. She wrote in haste. Her hands were gory with ink. Ink stained and dimmed the firebirds embroidered on her sleeve. Ink stained and dimmed the firebirds on her sleeve. That's how that sentence is read. The glimpse of me goaded her. The ink bottle, upset, black blue bloomed in the floodwater. Don't worry about it. Okay. I'm off then. Let's discuss theories of ministry misbehavior with Archie, I think, maybe. Or maybe... Because can I, like, talk about that with, like, anybody else? Can you take the census with Phoebe? Discuss theories of ministry misbehavior with Archie. Let's go for it. Archie and I know one another too well to dress for any minor eccentricities or of dress to surprise him. I may still have my own preferences about how I wish to appear, however. I'm gonna put on my little beautiful flowers. That's how you know I'm in a flirt mood. I'm satisfied with this. Ah, there you are, my dear. Hi. What memory? I'll bring it up. I was thinking recently of how studious you were before the fall. Always reading about poisons and drugs. No harm in that. It's a medical question. And I wasn't at Chapman's very long before. Have you heard the proposals to drill some new wells? Wells? We need more fresh water that doesn't come out of the stolen river. But the first machine they put to it, it struck on something in the ground or at a sight of beef and the ground screamed. I'd be curious to see what's in there, but the ministry has blocked all the roads to around the spot. But there was a trickle of blood that was running down the street, and 2 or 3 enterprising butchers gathering it in cups to make into pudding. Raise the question of Page's intentions. What do you think Mr. Pages intends for London? That's what I'd hoped you might suss out. You formed the question on the board. Now it's a matter of asking someone that might know. Guess I should ask Grizz then. That wouldn't put too much money on what answer you might get from Grizz. Guess I should ask Mr. Pages itself then. There's a brief lull in the conversation. Yeah! I should tell you, it might not be what your mother would approve of, but I do love you, Archie Reed. It's good to hear it said, even if you've been half suspecting it. I love you too. Time was when the thought of this would have stopped me in place. For fear I cannot take a liking to anyone without something happening to them. But that fear doesn't weigh so much on me now. And I have you to thank for that as well. This is insane. Okay. See ya. Guess I should go fill out a census. Get outside. Let's take the census with Phoebe. Yes, yes, yes. I'm satisfied with this. Hello. You here to see me, then? I don't receive visitors as a rule, but perhaps they won't take official notice. It's not as if I entertain much. I'm working for the Ministry on the Census. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting have asked me to work on the census. It gets faster every time. Phoebe shows no enthusiasm for the Ministry. Let's just ask. Are you married or otherwise connected? There's someone I care for. I had to hope something would come of it after the fall. But it seems that's not to be, by the look of things now. Joke? I nod sympathetically. I allow an appropriate interval to pass. Then I tell the one about the fungal cat. Silence falls. Bye! Farewell. I should take myself off. Platonic. My face betrays my feelings. It's getting late, so I'm heading back home. Alright, alright. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna stay in this. Down to supper? Hello, hello? Eat up, Archie. Aren't you always warning us about a lack of nutrition? I'm sorry, Horatia. You've cooked as well as anyone could do. No need to tell me that. What are you brooding on, then? It's thinking on my mother. If she thinks I was killed, it'll be terrible for her heart. Aww. Reassure, Archie. I'm certain your mother will not have given up on you. It's only been a few months. Thank you. I say I get out of this hole in the ground at last and all the way back up to Glasgow and find she's passed to grief before I got there. Positively Greek. Have I told you before you should ask Grizz to help you? Ask me for what? I've told you before, I can't set off the masters. They can't be doing little favors here and there and everywhere. Do you know how many people live in London? No, my duck, I don't. Nor do you either, or you wouldn't need this census. My mother begged me not to come all the way to London.
She said I could just study just as well in Glasgow. Or if I had to go away, then no further than Edinburgh. There's plenty of physicians there training. It was me that chose to put the distance. Aww. Ask Archie why he came from so far from home. Why'd you do that then? My mother is a saint, the kind that suffocates you. Not that I mean to say a word against her. She went through a great deal with my father at that. He was nae a saint, not by a long chalk. No one speaks for a moment. Alright, yummy yummy food. I chew diligently. There are no more mushrooms on my plate. I ate them. I think. Unless they walked away. Okay, my journal. Hell yeah, hell yeah. 6 census pages, 2 pennies. Okay. All goes well today. I should like to interview one more person and then turn these in to pages. Another morning, another newspaper. Masters of the Bazaar prohibit burning of more than 6 candles at once. Candle shortage ongoing. If I am not too occupied otherwise, I can always ask my friends and acquaintances whether there's anything they need from me. They may have some additional tasks for me. Fun. Memory, 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 memory. Let me remember. I reach for another memory of that jumbled grab bag. Yes, yes, yes. Constable Harjeet checked on us that night. Let's go. That day, when the sky had gone red, even though it wasn't yet time for sunset, Harjeet knocked on the servant's door. He was carrying a lantern. All well in this house? Any wounded? Any missing? Any dead? Anyone bunking with you that didn't live here yesterday? It was Horatio who answered, of course. No, that's not right. Hang on, did I answer? I must have said something. I said no one was wounded. No one's wounded here. If anyone takes shelter here, will you tell me? We offered him something to eat before he left. We have a few provisions if you need food. Looks like it'll be a long night. I can't stay, but thank you. It's kind of you to offer the pasta water. Alright. I mean, I don't take it I have anything more here. Okay. Head outside. We can take the census with Ivy here. The risk of going to see Ivy hatless is that she may very well try to sell me a new one. I'm satisfied with that. I don't like my current hat. You know? My current hat is mean. Fuck, what was the voice I gave her? No, whatever. I'll go with this. Mack, it's good to see you. Working on the census? The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting have asked me to work on their census. I see. A bit softer? Okay. Clear, this is for the census. What should I put on the census as your full name? Ivy Fitzclarret. It's what passed for a joke with my mom. Angle for an explanation? Fitzclarret? Like the family of the royal bastards, the Fitzclarences. Except less to do with the ducal ancestor and more to do with a strong drink. My mom reckoned when I got old enough I could pick a lie that suited me. So long as you live with me, you'll be known for a tart's daughter. No point in hiding it. Decide what relationship I want with Ivy. Not sure what to say with that, eh? I don't do conversations from etiquette books.
We should be friends. I grin. Explore the question of her future. Are you going to change your name someday? Oh yes, but not until I've saved enough to move my shop to Ladybones. Mademoiselle Hier de Bordeaux, I'm planning to call myself. All the fashions of Paris, but darker and more marvelous. Her voice shifts upmarket suddenly, her pronunciation almost as proper as Grizz's. I can sound elegant, but I didn't learn my manners at a finishing school. I worked in the back room of the dressmaker's shop until I was good enough to put in front. Found my way into genteel parlors and didn't let myself be kicked out of them again. Not 1 in 20 of the ladies I dress could do what I've done. Alright. Do you live alone? I live back at my mum's place when I'm not working in. She's good company unless she's got guests of her own, in which case I stay out late. Alright. Are you married or otherwise connected? There's been a few warm encounters. I'm not the blessed virgin, am I? But I don't want child nor man sponging off me. On one thing about being raised by an old sloop of war. She taught me how to keep unencumbered. For a moment, no one speaks. Offer Ivy my friendship. I see you as one of my closest friends! I've got great social skills. Now there's a porky. Hey! You don't see me as close. I've given you no call to think any such thing. Haven't been telling you my deepest, darkest. Haven't been crying on your shoulder over all my woes. Haven't even touched you for a loan, which comes long before the other ones, most friendships I've seen. Haven't given one single sign. You don't strike me as thick in the skull. So ergo, consequently, in conclusion, you don't think we're close. Might be you admire me. Think I'm a bit of a laugh. Wish you could dress as fine as I do. React teasingly, I think. You're right. I feel a strong connection to your hat. But as it can't speak for itself, I had to address myself to you instead. Alright, you'll do. Pinky touch from my friends, then? I don't make a great formality of it in the general way. And if anyone asks, I might say we aren't friends. Depending on who's asking and the nature of the circumstances. You understand. She keeps up the chatter for a good while longer. But she's pleased. I can tell she's pleased. Hell yeah. That's 7! That's 7! Alright. Hey there, bud. Oh, Grizz is here? Heh, whatever. Hi. It's like, this is normal. Okay, okay. I'm satisfied with this. Grizz has already shown me once how to visit the ministry. Nonetheless, this time I make sure I visit while she is there also. So I invite myself to accompany her when she walks to work. Hi!
We require more stories for the bazaar. Our current catalog is too small.
Too small?
Far too small.
We have all the romantic accounts from the census.
Too short! Too self-similar! A person was married, then widowed. A person fell in love, was rejected, and married another. Where's the screaming in such an account?
Turn the moment to humor? I'm sure, yeah. They are English, Mr. Pages. When they wish to scream, they say that they were quite put out. Besides, if you want more colorful stories, there are the novels.
London's novels have been disappointing.
Oh boy. Well, what would you do, Grizz? If we cannot prepare everything that is needed, we should prepare for the failure instead.
This sounds disappointing.
What'll happen if there are not enough stories, or they are not satisfactory?
They will not immediately escape from here. London will not be restored and turned.
Ask about food, I think. Will we run out of food? Are there not enough stores?
No, stores can be supplied.
Okay. Is there a risk of rioting or the like?
We could suppress this.
So in other words, if you don't find enough stories, you will then spend longer in their collection.
Yes.
And that's all.
That is not all. I have promissificated and guarantorated that the paper supplies of London will provision-applicate.
More slowly.
I will be mocked. I will be humiliated. I will be shamed among the other masters. We've assured them when we chose London rather than another city, we said it was for her books. For her collection, her wealth, her hoard of printed things. Mr. Byers alleged that this was a personal greed, but I assured them that I acted in the good of all.
I see.
Yes!
So the serious matter before us is that you helped to see to the sinking of London. Yourself. It was your own choice. And now you want us to help you prove that it was not a vain decision.
Yes!
I need some air. I'm gonna pretend nothing happened. I clear my throat and smile at Mr. Pages.
Do you have anything more?
I'm gonna go individually. I want to know what he says. Let's start off with Grizz. Mr. Pages takes the census page eagerly and spends some time scanning it. There is something it is looking for. Something it keeps looking for that it cannot find. Pages turns over the papers carefully.
Almost all I would expect for Undercon Grizz.
It's almost purring, but it stands there looking at the page about Grizz's non-existent romantic life for what seems like a lifetime.
Grizz's previous suitor was unmeritory.
Ask why Pages is taking an interest. What do you care?
Grizz is of use. You have anything more?
Here's the one about Rachel. Mr. Pages pays 2 pennies. Then it puts the census page in a stack of others much like it. It weighs the stack down to the paperweight. If I look too hard at the paperweight, my eyes sting. It looks through the sheets of the form in its usual way.
Her heart smells of sulfur. The matters have not progressed sufficiently for interest. You have anything more?
Here's the one about David. The trick is not to look at the back of the penny at all.
It seems he cares for his sister more than any other. Nonetheless, his affections are prolific. There's some promise in that. Do you have anything more?
Here's the one about Harjeet. This form merits 2 pennies.
Can we say that the story is finished? While the lover is not returned, another chaptering is imaginable. You have anything more?
Here's the one about Phoebe. I have got used to the transaction now.
There are 7 forms thus far. This should be commemorated. Grizz has suggested that the agents of the ministry should appear respectable. Moreover, that black is an acceptable color of clothing. Respectable. I have obtained an article. It was not made with Mr. Vale's wares. I hope this will not give offense. Mr. Vale's should not be given the measure of you.
Oh, thank you! I love it trying to understand us humans, yeah. I truly thought it was talking about itself. Suitable for funeral processions and attendance of graves. Knowing it makes me more conscious of grim truths, but also better able to lend comfort.
She seems A very small person. More like a dog. Do you have anything more?
I have this one about Theophilus. I can take my penny without flinching under its stare.
Grizz specificated the existence of holy men who are wedded to the church. This one appears to have been wedded to a woman. Only a disappointment. But we thank you. It might have been something more.
It contemplates the final sheet of the census forms again.
Do you have anything more?
Here's the one about Ivy. Mr. Pages is pleased enough with my information to give me 2 pennies.
An exemplar sample. Her mother is resilient of heart. She herself also.
I liked her.
Your application of companionate time outside the ministry is your own. We do not forbid revisiting the subjects of the census.
That is enough of my official duties for the moment. Flirt with Mr. Pages! I feel I've seen a side of you that other Londoners never see. Your interest in the landscape of the city, your concern for the census, your lexical tastes.
None of the other masters keep such a pet. You will go home now. You should attend the ministry frequently. Your presence is satisfactulant. If you have secrets to confide, I will also listen to them. Especially if they pertain to heart matters, but even if they do not.
Hell yeah. Encourage Mr. Pages in a more romantic direction. I would like that. The chance to spend time together is always welcome.
I have written this appointment in the book. Do not deviate from obedience to this plan. Grace has indicated the aesthetic proprietary of ruinous places. That what is broken inspires happiness and warmth of heart. There is something I wish to show you.
It leads me out of the ministry. The people in the streets part when we approach. No one troubles us. When we come to the edge of the stolen river, it summons a boat with a crook of its claw. Oh? Ah! First day! Yeah.
Does it have an effect? Does it ain't hurting you? Grizz indictified that the moon was also required. But the moon was cast out of the belly of the Neath. It is unwise to stay. We will depart. You have seen what I wish to show.
First date, I take you to an abandoned building and then leave. All that remains of the houses. The building has been in the middle of the river since the fall. I am Fuck it, yeah. Yeah, sure. Horatio will be setting out the food now. Take you to an abandoned building. There is a creature. Leave immediately. Perfect first date. Exactly. Suitable. I got this beautiful. I don't think I need to be wearing that yet. Pages is winning at romance, yeah. Go down to supper. I have so much money now. I'm so hyped. Hey guys! Grizz brought home extra supplies today. I was able to do something that almost resembled cooking. Thank you for your hard work, Horatia. Your suppers are always delicious. You are very welcome. Flattery should be persuasive. They are always as delicious as possible in the circumstances. Exactly. And we had better circumstances today. Keep quiet and eat. Yum 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 yum. I chew diligently. There are no more mushrooms on my plate. Let's look at the journal again. 12 pennies! I feel so powerful. Oh yeah, we can look at what they are. My witting and confiding self. Beloved. Our relationship is all I've dreamed. Aww. Fan. I've earned David's admiration now and again. Likeable companion. I'd like us to be friends, and we do seem to get along. Skeptical ally. Antagonist. I've earned Harjeet's admiration now and again. Landlady. I still owe her back rent. Friend. Officially, we have the relationship I wanted. Unofficially, we could be getting on better. Lovable companion. Detractor. I want to reveal my love for Mr. Pages, but we've only flirted so far. Skeptical informant. I've extracted what Mr. Pages wanted to know, more or less. Census filler. I have extracted what Mr. Pages wanted to know, more or less. Skeptical census filler. Same. Alright. 2, 6, 5. 8 days remain in the season of confessions. Another morning, another newspaper. Archie brought one. The headlines read, Theological concerns within the Anglican Communion prompt formation of new synod? Is that how you say that? If I am not too occupied otherwise, yes, I can always ask my companions for more tasks if I want to. Synod? Okay. Another memory. Archie and Harjeet had a conversation about something. I think I remember Archie talking to Harjeet. I'm not sure whether it was right when Harjeet arrived, though. Might have been later. Something about laudanum dosages. What to do if Harjeet found someone who was on the verge of dying in a lot of pain? The memory is hazy, as if I heard it from another room or was half asleep at the time. I couldn't swear to it. There was something else, too, that I haven't thought of until now. Just the flicker of an exchange. How old would your wife be, then? Only the size and gender of change the dose. Ah. You don't recall? No, I haven't forgotten anything. I'm a doctor, or near to it. There's no need to be shy. And Mack is sleeping by the look of it. Well, the person in question is a gentleman. In his 30s. Military man near my own height. Oh, aye, not your wife, then. If it's a comfort to you, I've made a friendship or two of that persuasion myself. Though nay of recent months. They went away, then. Archie showing Harjeet how to measure various medicines for a large military gentleman. Haha. Alrighty, righty. I don't think I have anything new here still, yeah, because, yeah, those two are locked. Suppose I should be asking Grizz about that, then. Oh, geesh. That's a lot. Pay Horatia the first half of what I owe her, I think would be great. Discuss theories of ministry misbehavior. Let's pay Horatia while we still have money. Horatia won't mind me in this. I do want to put on my beautiful little fancy flowers. I said that they were for flirting, but they're also for friendship. I'm satisfied with this. I find Horatia in the basement, taking inventory of our supplies. I am indebted to Horatia. Since the fall, I haven't always had the funds to pay for my room and board. She provided for me anyway. If there's anything to eat, I'm always welcome to join the other lodgers. She's never said a word in front of the other guests. That's polite. Good morning, Mack. I hope you've not grown too sick of the mushrooms. Recount my unnerving mirror glimpses during the fall. The night of the fall, I saw something that wasn't my own face when I looked in the mirror. It was a woman in a flooding palace, and the sight of her alarmed me. Talking eases the sense of alarm. I go on for some time. The Lord is our shepherd. I remind myself of that in times like this. Harjeet says the Bessam's neighbors vanished overnight. They'd been talking of making a run for it, just striking out north and seeing what they'd found. Not enough to eat around here, it seems. Here's money. I believe I owe you something, as a matter of fact. I pass her the coins in a jingling handful. There's a moment's fellow feeling. Horatia and I are thinking alike. She scoops the money into the pocket of her shirt.
Hey, I did it.
Yeah, tell me how much more I owe, please. I know that I can't cover all of my previous debts. It would be as much again.
Pay the rest now. As it happens, I can cover that.
I won't praise you too much. It wouldn't do for it to go to your head. But it's a good story, I grant.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yes!
My power. There's a brief lull in the conversation. My business is done. I'm just off to put my feet up and read the paper. If the rest of you have any scraps left, have left any scraps of it, that is.
I want to be friends.
I grin. Another errand. Well, I think I can only... I should have talked to Grizz beforehand then, shouldn't I have? We can see whether they need anything. Can't talk to you. I guess David's in 2 places at once. Well, let's have Harjeet show with me somewhere else. I will change. I'm not gonna wear that around him. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. Besides, maybe we'll meet somebody who needs to be... Harjeet is not best pleased to see me here. Somewhere else, please? Ooh, the Devil's Townhouse. Have you seen any devils? If by that you mean the people with yellow eyes. Yes. They have taken over a townhouse that way. He points out a direction. You can see them coming and going sometimes. The occasional vicar standing outside to stare in. Fun, fun, fun. This path is more than usually complicated. Several times we stop and retrace our steps. We cannot omit this part of the procedure. Going backwards is part of the route. They say this place is inhabited by devils, or alternatively, people with yellow eyes and a warm handshake. Harjeet takes a look at the devil's doorstep and raises his eyebrows. It's plain he has no taste for this company, so I say goodbye and go on alone. Their door knocker is made of brass, unreasonably warm brass, and it is shaped like the head of a goat. The attendant is human enough, but she refuses to answer any questions. I wait in a very old-fashioned wooden chair. I keep feeling that the armrests are nipping at my wrists. I'm invited inside at last. Hello, hello?
Hi!
2 of you. A member of the constabulary. They do not require your assistance. Milton will see you out.
Hi, Milton. Hi, Virginia.
Your eye for detail has failed you, Virginia. Our visitor wears the badge of the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting. I believe this is some official errand. Joke? I go by Mack. I go by Milton. I dislike full names. You may address me as Virginia, or ma'am. And may I say, the decorations are enchanting. I've never been able to get my crockery to whisper to me. They both fall extremely still. I'm not sure that they breathe.
Great, that one didn't work.
So, you know that the ministry has sent me to work on the census. Their work is vital for London. You may have mistaken your authority. The masters do not direct us. It will not take long. We are in the middle of a delicate matter. Come now, Virginia. Wouldn't you find it entertaining to learn what the masters are asking? I admit to significant curiosity. Just what does the ministry hope to learn about you and me that it doesn't already know? Then ask and be prompt, Mack. And if this proves a waste of our time, Milton, you will owe me your good hunting horn. Well? Who else lives in your household? I reside alone. You have servants? I do. Why are you walking back and forth behind her, dude? Oh, I do. Several. I'd assume they would not be counted as persons. You must trust me on this sort of thing, Virginia. I have had more time to learn London's customs. And you frequently entertain overnight visitors? Never for very long. I have a maidservant, a housekeeper, and 3 drones. Footmen, don't look into what I mean. Don't. It's fine. Ignore the drones thing. It's fine. Yes, footmen. Footmen, you're right. Footmen. That's what they're called. Anyone hear a buzzing sound? No, it's fine. Romantic involvements. Do you have any lovers, spouses, friendly barmaids? Ah, an interesting question. Several persons have believed themselves to be romantically attached to me. Will that do? You're not engaged to any of them? Of course not. And not married, that I can safely rule out. Definitely not married. I keep my focus on the census. Virginia is a fine name. Fashionable. One tries to accommodate the local culture. That is, until one tries until it becomes too much bother. Our friend implies that the name does not distinguish you from the common or garden variety Virginia. It might benefit from a poetic epithet. Amber-eyed Virginia, for instance. London poets have a taste for that kind of thing. Bross-shawed Virginia. You must ensure that it scans. Do not write that down. Virginia of the Cloven Hoof? Definitely not. Pity. There are census answers I could still get from Virginia. Well, what about you? Are you in love? Do you keep your beloved's heart in a jeweled coffer? I have no romantic involvements that you need to report to your employers. Silence falls. So, Milton, what do you do for work? Simply ask about his work here. What is the nature of your work here? I'm a gentleman of leisure, though I have devoted myself to cultivation of the arts. Until our next meeting, Mack. My opinion remains to be seen. I shake my head to clear it. The ruminations are gone. All is as it was. It's time to go home. We've met Virginia, and we can put a face to a name with Milton. Excellent. Alrighty. Yep, it's dinner's time. For dinner, we chill. Hey guys, I hung out with normal people today. Yummy food. I chew diligently. Finish eating. Very eventful dinner. We paid off our fucking rent. We're so back. We're so back. Okay. I wanna do more on that newspaper thing for Archie. You know? I feel like I gotta ask Riz about stuff, you know? Ministry of Accounting and Recounting offers extra rations in exchange for old pound notes. Like, I could ask people if they have things for me to do. I should like to do that, but I have things I want to do first. Another memory, please. I think Grizz did say something about her family name. Grizz was eating a cold dinner. There wasn't a hot one that night. But Horatia was determined that we had to eat. Chris and I have both been watching at Horatia since before the fall, but at first we didn't speak much. She kept her distance back then. She's become friendlier. She's become much friendlier since Judgment Day. Ooh. No question of lighting the stove today, I'm very sorry to say. I found a few things in the larder. Those few things will be worth a fortune now. Grizz didn't look impressed. Yeah, those few things would be worth a fortune now. She had the end of a loaf of bread, a roast joint we hadn't finished, cheddar with the wax covering still on. The jelly deal's barely been touched, plenty to go around. In fact, I think Grizz mentioned her family briefly. While we were eating, a joking reference. Must be a bad night in the Everly household. They don't like eating alone. Guests, always. But I doubt anyone is paying supper visits today. Everly. Fun name. Alright. Devil's Townhouse. Ooh, we can discuss theories of ministry misbehavior with Virginia. I want to ask Grizz. I want to ask Grizz about the misbehavior. I'm satisfied with this. Friend, it's good to see you. Yeah, let's talk about the currency thing. I recount the newspaper story. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting wants to take old currency out of circulation. Oh. Currencies from other countries are also accepted, although at a lower rate of exchange. I give a bit of a mocking edge to the whole tale. Where do the broadsheets get this rubbish? Though I did try to explain to Mr. Pages what a journalist was. He shrieked something about espiateurs and threatened something unspeakable if he ever encountered one. Talk about the sinister nature of authority. Those who make the laws have always abused the place, keeping their own power and pushing down everyone else. Grizz nods along, and even finishes a few of my sentences for me. I've told Mr. Pages that you're making further progress with the census. I'm sure he's eager to see what you've collected as soon as you're ready. To be honest, I'm slightly curious myself. There's more in these forms than I expected. Laugh. I laugh uproariously. London contains a surprising number of out-of-work costermongers, and not so many bankers as I've been led to expect. Raise the question of Page's intentions. What do you think Mr. Pages intends for London? What is it doing? What does it want? Who knows? I do not make the mistake of trusting the thing, not now. But if you want to guess, considering what I've seen, it's driven by its need to get love stories. And not for itself, either. I can't tell which ones will be enough and which won't. I'm not sure what it'll do once it has them all. Perhaps they'll abandon us entirely. I hope not, but I can't be sure. The conversation turns to personal matters and the things we still don't know about one another. If you could be rid of one danger from all dangers the Neath holds, which would you strike out? I feel nothing! Getting eaten by beasts is probably a big one. The risk of being devoured by something. There's a vast winged beast that haunts the church. I don't want to get rid of it, I just want to, Reverend Withernwicks as it comes to every choir meeting. I suppose it would at least be a brief misery. But I notice that London is not full of the remains of devoured Londoners. Are we a friend? Friendship? I see you as one of my closest friends. I feel the same. I could try to consider Mr. Page as a friend, but I think it would resent the impertinence. No, look, Grizz, we both know that it wouldn't be calling it impertinence. It'd be like impertifix or shit. It'd be like 5 extra syllables, you know? And it almost definitely has a particular name for our relationship that I wouldn't even be able to pronounce. Exactly. Please try not to be drowned in the stolen river, or eaten by the thing with talons that visits the rooftops. Yeah. I laugh. I wasn't entirely joking. That's part of what was funny. I always plan for contingencies whenever there's anything I don't want to lose. You're another item on the list. Aww. Until we meet again, then. I have only platonic intentions towards Grizz. Collected love stories. I mean, is that something I can even do here? Yeah, that's... Oh no, wait, it is an action. Student of the Heart. I guess we could do that. Is this something, then? For Archie. Discuss theories of ministry misbehavior with Archie. Archie is familiar with me by now, of course. I'm satisfied with this. You're a welcome sight. Yeah, I'll flirt. I imagine we were destined to meet. If London hadn't fallen, we would have met on the surface instead. I'm sure of it. It had to be. We fall into banter, and we do not quickly recover. We turn to the price of mushrooms, the difficulty of finding fuel. These are the subjects that people discuss in the Neath, in order to avoid talking about teeth and snakes and the occupants of our dreams. The Masters are gathering love stories, or at least Mr. Page's is. I suspect the others may be working on it as well. I wonder what the purpose of that might be. I suppose it puts us all at their mercy. But I would think that there are easier ways. They already have our food. If they mean to starve us, they'd kill everyone's beloved anyhow. Maybe they want the stories for themselves. As if London were a treasure house of a very peculiar kind. Something tugs at my memory. I think I saw something that might have been a master the night of the fall. I didn't know what they were then, and everything was so strange that one more strange thing did not stand out. Now I can't shake the feeling that they were nearby, on our own street as London was being swallowed. Call the past and remember sigils, ooh. I have a friend in Fleet Street who will want the fucking Fleet Street! Mr. Todd? Pays good money for what he can print. I'll split the price between us. You won't mind me using the rest on medicines, I know. And it's not as though I could go to Archie's buyer myself, of course. Of course? There's a brief lull in the conversation. Yeah, I'll do that again. I remind Archie of my feelings for him. Hearing that doesn't get old, it seems. I've been thinking about you. And about how I mean to go above again as soon as I may. Ask if he's worried about the future. You're afraid of what's to come? Nah, I don't want to make some copy of happiness down here. Spending time with you, making plans together, it's like telling myself I've settled in. That I'll not see the sun again. Does it trouble you, me saying that? Nah. I'm not sure yet. Should it? Well, might be the mood'll pass on. I thought it was best I warn you. I'm that fond of you, but I might not be fit for purpose. I'll give it a try. I'd like to try all the same. Aye, well, you have courage, I'll say that. I'd best get to look on the drugs. I have a new batch brewing.
Bye-bye.
Nice, nice, nice. Ooh, hoo-hoo. Thingy here. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, we gotta learn more actions, I think. We've already turned in that story. Oh, we got more stories to learn, but we'll do that in 3 minutes. Chat. We are about to have 3 minutes of ads. If you need to go to the bathroom or grab a snack or get something to drink, now is going to be the perfect time to do so. If you also need to, this is your hourly self-care check-in. If you need to fix your posture, take your meds, save your files, you gotta charge your devices and do some stretches and feed your pets, please take care of yourself. Do it. Do it. Hehehehe. What's really fun is, like, I don't remember a lot of this, like, build-up. Because immediately, like... Because I guess, like, this is all stuff I've technically gotten through before. So I've definitely done different stuff. You know? I feel like I've been very Archie-focused on this run, but that's because of information that I know about the game. That I know will happen, and I think it's funnier the more invested in Archie I am. I feel like the way that I'm setting this up makes it sound like he's going to die. Maybe he is, maybe he won't. Is? Will. Who knows? I think it's funnier the more eggs I put into this basket, you know? Like, once you start putting eggs in a basket, you're like, oh no, like, if like this breaks, then all my eggs are gone, right? It's funny, it's really funny to realize that and continue heaping the eggs. Holy shit!
Big 20.
Thank you, Otto, for the 20 months. Holy shit. It's almost 2 years. What the fuck? That's scary. Yo! Thanks for subscribing, Otto. Thank you for showing up. It's cool as hell. Thanks for sticking around. Been a while? Yeah! Glad to see ya. Also, I'm gonna, that's my squibby of celebration. I can't imitate that emote myself. If I try, I'm just doing this, you know? It's not a lot. Just pretend that that's me. Ooh, that's a good one. Silly guy. Nice, nice. Like, do I have? No, I don't have any gift subs at the moment. I need to go and lurk in people's chats more. Need to get back on that. It's always funny whenever I'm more active on Twitch and like watching people, I always get like 1,000,000 billion gift subs. And by 1,000,000 billion, I mean like I think max I've had at one point was like 6, and that I'm living off that high still. It's always fun. Just like, whoa, cool little emotes from various people. That's truly like the one benefit to me. Max we had was 13. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Or 19, one of the two. I mean, double digits at all is wild. Hell yeah. I love Twitch emotes so much. That's one of my favorite mechanics of this. You know? That's 6 right now? Hell yeah. I mean, I still need to make those emotes that I keep saying that I need to make. Whenever I have, like, more than one thing I need to do, then it's a question of, like, oh god, which one do I do first? I don't know. I'm gonna play video games instead. You know? That's... I always get less productive at the end of the year. I don't know if that's the seasonal affective disorder or whatever. I think that also would just happen anyway, because there's so many things that happen at the end of the year, you know? There's always fucking 1,000,000 holidays that you gotta bounce immediately between. You gotta do the Halloween and the Thanksgiving here in the US, and then the Christmas and the New Year. And then I know, like, at least 3, potentially more people whose birthdays are in this back half of the year. I can think of 3 off the top of my head, at least. It's like, Jesus. Things are happening. Okay, alright, the ad should be over. Okay. Is it dinner? It's dinner. What am I wearing? Yes. Let's go to dinner.
Hello, hello. I suppose you've heard the news. What specifically? Which news is that? The Masters have received word from the surface. Ooh! The rest of the world is all still there. The remains of England, France, all the rest as it was. Only London was abstracted. There are crates and crates of mail from the world above. They're going out to London now as we speak. Joke about the likely price of stamps. Can only imagine what the price of stamps will be if we're to send letters back to the world above. Perhaps in place of the Queen's head, it'll bear the silhouette of Mr. I suppose it would likely be Mr. Page's. None of the other masters seem especially concerned with epistolary pursuits. What, you don't think Spices is really into writing words? Archie, did you hear? I did at that. So it's true. I mean to get a seat on the next mail coach that goes above. I'm not sure about that the mail came by coach, and it certainly did not come by train. Well, however it came, I mean to go back that road. Propose other ways one might reach the surface? Sure. Perhaps there's a carriage drawn through the upper earth by a team of giant moles. Look, Mr. Pages sent us all a gift. She takes out a package wrapped in brown paper and string and sets it down on the table. Inside are half a dozen fresh pork and apple sausages. Better than Christmas, love. Thank you, Mr. Pages, for us. I'll make them up for Sunday lunch. Yay! Thank you! Thank you and Mr. Pages. I don't suppose Mr. Pages does a line in red pudding. It's Mr. Hartz who's been arranging the import of surface meats. But I don't think Mr. Hartz would consider a red pudding a very suitable gift. How many masters are there, then? I've only seen the census pages for a few of them. When I try to count, I always lose my place and have to start again. But I dare say it's just my nerves. I don't think Mr. Pages would like to find me looking through that file. Ooh, keep quiet and eat. I chew diligently. I don't know, there's like... The number that immediately pops into my head is 11, but maybe it's 13. I don't fucking know. There's double digits of them. I'm not gonna count them all off the top of my head. Review the day in my journal. I don't know why I did that. 267 days since the fall. 6 days remain in the season of confessions. For once, I know just what I'll see in the paper. Contact achieved with the surface of the Earth. Travel possible via Z route. Mail collected from above. Goes on and on like this. I spend the good part of the morning devouring the pages. There are hardly any pictures, it's too early for illustrations. Nonetheless, the paper's correspondents paint a vivid picture of the perilous travel back into the environs of Italy. Nice. Wahoo! Recall the past. I got a memory to remember. Come on. The stranger with the sigils. Ooh. The basement window is level with the feet of passers-by. On the night of the fall, I saw unshod feet, curved and taloned, clasping onto the cobblestones to avoid being shaken off. The creature was bigger than a man, but it walked hunched over. It paced out deliberate steps to the curbstone opposite Mrs. Chapman's, and on the stone face it wrote letters of fire. It did not look like the languages of China or India. I've seen all sorts of writing on the sides of crates come from overseas, and not one of them looked like this. Come the morning, that house was gone, and its neighbors on each side were sharing a party wall. Ooh, inscribed buildings. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I mean, is that something I got here?
That I do. Ooh. Yeah, I'd love to take that. Pages surgical. That's great. I mean, I think these are two lovely things to do here. We can drop off some of our census forms. Maybe, perhaps, pursue some relations. Mr. Pages may expect me to turn up with my ministry badge on. Fine. I'm a little bit professional. Just a little. I'm satisfied with this. When I arrive, Mr. Pages raises its head and looks at me without saying anything.
Do you have anything more?
Here's the one about Milton. The trick is to not look at the back of the penny at all.
This one is not a citizen of London. He will come from points west and is not capable of love. Do you have anything more?
Well, I have this one as well. Pages goes through the pages of the census with growing interest, studying some pages closely. Then suddenly it stops and throws the sheaf on its desk.
She is known to us. She's not from the 5th city at all, nor even the 1st. Hell exchanged its leaders late in the 4th century. Or the 4th city, sorry, I can read. Don't worry about it! Why are you fucking trying to romance me when you have dyslexia, you fucking idiot? I'm making up words over here! We were otherwise occupied. We are unfamiliar with the newcomers. We surmise she is ambitious or in exilement.
Cool. Flirt? I hint at how glad I am that we've met.
How delicious you are, friend. It's time for you to depart.
I say farewell to Mr. Pages. Pages does not reply at all. It is at times difficult to tell whether Mr. Pages is intentionally ill-mannered or merely has no interest in discovering what the proper etiquette might be. The hallways outside are hushed, except that if I listen closely there is a sound like something walking with an uneven gait. Its shoes, or perhaps its toenails, click on the polished floor. Judging by the clock, I can afford another errand today. Alright. Ah? I'll do both of these. Let's ask whether Archie needs anything. I want to know, do you have a quest for me, bud? Wearing any insignia other than a flower in my lapel makes it look like I've come on official business, even though I'm just here to offer help. Perhaps it won't matter. Well, I still want to put on my beautiful flowers. My lovely flowers. I'm satisfied with this. My dear. Recount my disturbing memories of the fall. The night of the fall, I looked out and saw a hunched figure, drawing blazing sigils on the walls. They were so bright I could see them from across the street in the darkness. The thing looked like a master. I don't try to conceal that it was frightening. I see. I am glad you told me. We turned to the supply of gas and oil. It is a favorite pastime, speculating how much of these commodities the masters must have in store, and where they could have come from. What will happen when night falls entirely. I meant to ask you whether there's anything I can help you with. I did not need anything. But have you been to the basement? Horatia says the rats down there have learned to read. She says she doesn't want us going down there. I gotta figure out what's going on with that. I'm glad you told me. See if I can get to the bottom of it. Visit the thing in the basement. Take the beasties a book or two, that's my advice. See if they can take it to an education. For a moment, no one speaks. I say a little more about how I'm feeling towards Archie.
about how much he occupies my thoughts and how I miss him when we're apart. He has a few observations along those lines himself. There's all sorts you know about me, but I keep thinking of things you've not told me. Oh? What sort of family did you grow up with, then? Mother like mine always asking what you meant to do next? That's my character's vibe. I feel like our character backstory always mentions father and uncle, but never the mom, so I guess kind but gone. They were kind, but they're gone now. Ah, I'm sorry. Cultivate Archie's detailed theorizing? What does that even mean? Decide to marry Archie one day. What does cultivate Archie's detailed theorizing mean? I guess there's only one way to find out. He always finds a mystery in everything, even things that might not be perfectly explicable. He always so does his best to help where he can. Yeah. I want to do that too. It's cool as hell. Pasta water. It started snowing outside. It isn't ordinary snow. Something has gone very badly at the Ministry. Mr. Pages took away a great supply of our papers, together with many of the books and novels it had assembled. All of them taken into the bazaar in wheelbarrows, so many that it attracted quite a crowd. I thought those were for his personal collection. No, he was always planning to take them to the bazaar, but it didn't go well. And it seemed that to concern him even more. He said London might not last long in the snow. Damn. Don't worry, Mr. Pages is easily agitated. I don't think that means we are safe. Riz shakes her head. Mr. Pages has a very lively fear of what may happen next, and I cannot put this out of my head. Silence falls. I'm gonna chew very diligently. I'm a diligent chewer. You never find anybody more diligent in their chewing than I. Except for maybe somebody who is entirely a pair of teeth. 5 days remain in the season of confessions. Another morning, another newspaper. Orgiastic parties of legendary Viscountess threaten virtue and reputation of ordinary citizens. Hell yeah! For all the secrets Archie and I have made known, they do not have a headline. Not yet. There's only a small item in the back of the paper. If I am not too occupied otherwise, I can always ask my friends. Yes, 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 I'm going to. Calm down. Like, I think I'm a good moment now to do that. I reach for another memory out of that jumbled grab bag. There are things I sometimes remember from that night that cannot have happened. Yes, yes. I saw something in the corner of the basement. I remember waking up that night and seeing there was a new rat hole in the basement wall. And as I lay there gazing at it, there came something like the leg of an octopus from that hole. It felt about the floor of the basement and wrapped itself around a lump of coal, finding nothing else handy. But that displeased it, it seems, because it dropped the lump again and withdrew. When I summoned the courage to look into the hole, I saw nothing, and I could not be sure that I saw it truly. Hell yeah. I do want to wear that again. We can ask for another route. I say... look into Ivy's goods for sale. Seems like we can't, seems that we cannot
ask Ivy if she has anything that she wants us to do. Or maybe some other time. Let me check while I'm wearing the flower here. I don't think that our clothes impact, yeah, these options. But I do have more money. You know? Where do I want to go? I want to know where everything is, you know? If there's more places to find, I wanted to change my outfit actually to whatever. Palpably not happy to see me. Joke about ways back to the surface. I hear the new way back to the surface is by water. Hate to think that has just happened to the Hate to think that what has just happened to the price of ores. I see. I am glad you told me. There's nothing amiss at Mrs. Chapman's, is there? Nothing has happened to Archibald. Well, he looked well last I saw him. Archie shakes his head, as though to clear away some thought. So many families passed in the fall. So many others vanished afterwards. Perhaps they have all packed their things and gone to some other part of the city. Perhaps something more terrible has happened. Alright, can you show me another place? Can you show me the Menace Eradicator's shop? Find any interesting places today? There's a Menace Eradicator's shop around the corner in that direction. He points toward a couple of buildings. I can't see the path between them at first. It takes a minute of staring before I notice the alley that cuts between. The walk is easier this time than with some of our previous lessons. At first I think I'm becoming better at this route finding, and Harjeet mentions that the streets are becoming easier. The signs change less frequently now. Ferret's shop. Ferret is the local menace eradicator, and there's significant need for their services lately. Hello? I'm endeared to you immediately. The sign outside says that this shop belongs to one Ferret. This, presumably, is them. If you've come to beg for some rat bodies, I'm clean out. The constables take their cut and I've got to eat. But if you come back another time, I might have some then. They're the one thing that's not running around here. Angle to impress Ferret with lies. Sure. I want to try that. Mack. Ferret, but you could see that in the shop window. Time was my family owned everything your eye could see around here. Impressive. Pleasure to meet you. I'm working for the Ministry on the census. I don't have my badge with me, but I'm collecting census information for the Ministry of Accounting and Recounting. Ferret shows no enthusiasm for the Ministry. Try to establish some trust. I favor Ferret with a brief sketch of my own upbringing and family tree. Ferret's the only name I go by. No one saw it fit to tell me if it was a full name or a surname. Might have come down to me from a noble house for all I know. Courtesy of me great-grandsire and his wife, Lord and Lady Stokeweasel. That form. Do you have to put on it whether a person is a gentleman or not? Nothing on it about gender. It doesn't ask anything about whether the person is male or female. That's good. Can't say I've ever liked answering that one. I noticed the they them immediately, Ferret, and also your name is Ferret. That's one of the most non-binary names I've ever heard in my life. Admit that I don't care for that question myself. I'm with you there, I must admit. Lots of curious folks about, poking into what doesn't concern them. Even if there's an answer they'd like. There's even an answer they'd like. At least these days people are more given worrying... At least these days people are more given worrying whether you're human or not. Yeah. Try to establish some trust.
I live just a couple of streets away from here at Mrs. Chapman's boarding house. Fewer of us there than there used to be, but it could be worse. Indeed. Does anyone live with you? Any boarders? Someone keen to share in an evening meal of the day's catch? They laugh. No one but me here, unless you calculate in the terrier. And the dove. There's one that lives under the roof. No rats, though. Won't find a single living rat in this building unless I invite it here with an engraved invitation. I'm gonna laugh. It's a good joke. Ha ha ha. It's me fastidious side at work. Use the question as a chance to flirt. Tell me you're not married, Tell me you're not married, Ferret. My heart couldn't bear it. You won't find any parish documents regarding my nuptials. Not my christening, either. What the fuck? Oi, I wasn't expecting you this evening. You until this evening. I'm saying to customers, as you can see. Hello, comrade. I already know the customer. Or is that towards them or towards me? Are they also a comrade? Or am I the only comrade here? Who was that directed at? I'm just by with a warning about the pub at the corner. More unusually infested, is it? If the publican hires you to clear the place, bring help. And fire. What relationship I want with Hardsheet? Well? I have only platonic intentions toward Hardsheet. If anything. That'll be spiders. Do they have got them on payroll? You pay Hardsheet off, don't you? You pay Hardsheet off, do you? Not like you're thinking. He won't have it. But now and then there's someone comes to me that needs an escort. South of the river, in particular. Not a journey to make by your lonesome. Where it gets to me, Hardsheet escorts them. Back to business, though, eh? What else can I do for you? Flirt? Flirt? You're delightful. Hold saying in me paws. Make sure the dog sees the rabbit. I reckon I've just got a glimpse of air. Conversation waits on Ferret. Do come back, especially if you have anything of a verminous nature that wants looking into. Or if you meet with any likely urchins who wants to apprentice. I went looking for the ragged school, but they ain't to be found where they used to be. Checked on the roofs. Checked around the flit. Judging by the clock, I can afford another errand today. Ferret. Delightful. I'm delighted by Ferret. Truly, as soon as I saw them, I was just like, you look exactly like the urchins, don't you? You know? It's like, ah, I know your alliances. Investigate what is really in the basement, I want to know. I doubt my outfit will matter down among the pantry supplies. Yeah, I'm satisfied with this. I tiptoe down. Horatia is distracted in the kitchen. No one else is paying attention. Hello, hello? First, it seems as though there's nothing to see. No lurking creatures or surprising supplies. Ooh? The things on the shelves are just what I'd expect. Anybody here? But, something is wrapped around my ankle. Something has half recognized me. It speaks of the sun, cruel and furious. The sun rejecting, cold in the dark. No heat at all. London spread out like a coverlet. Reassuring? Stifling? Its spire overlooking the city, its servants hooded. Then just as quickly it withdraws. I am refused. I am not Horatia. I expected something from her. It did not receive it from me. The tentacle is gone and there is only an empty hole in the wall. Horatia? What sort of relationship do you have with
Potentially the bazaar? I don't... It isn't long until dinner is served. Person tentacle! Nice, nice. I mean... I feel like, aw, damn, nothing here. I can't say served a tentacle here. Served a vast creature, there we are. The menace beneath. Well, I mean, served a vast creature and connected love stories feels like a something. But, yeah. I guess we'll just leave it at that for now, maybe, or... I'll just save it there and I can always edit it later. Go down to supper. Horatia arrives late to supper. What's on your boots, Horatia? It looks like milk and it smells like a sewer. Don't go into the basement. Now, technically, I hadn't been told not to go into the basement before by her. You know? I feel like Archie would back me up here. I know there's a tentacle thing down there. Do you? I saw it the night of the fall. Oh, that, yes. I didn't realize it had visited us so early. It's not only that. The floor down there is flooded. I moved everything to higher shelves. Offer my help. Is there anything I can help with? Only if you want to help carry buckets of nasty water out of the basement. So we form a bucket line. Horatia insists on taking the basement position. She still wants no one else to enter. But I stand on the stairs and take the buckets from her, and carry them out to the gutter. They do not smell like ordinary water. My eyes burn. By the way, I found a spare apron this morning. Left behind by a lodger who used to help out around the place now and again. Thought it might be of some use to you. Hey, nice. Helpful, cooperative, with a gift for invention and a true appreciation of craft. I'll go straight to sleep. I feel like that might be good if I wanted to befriend Milton. Four days remain in the season of confessions. Another morning, another newspaper. The headlines today read, population of rats and spiders in London said to have tripled overnight. Alright. Okay. I want a memory. Give me a memory. Gimme memmy. Storm long before the fall. The memory of lightning flashes, and the memory of rain covers my face. And I am back above in a summer downpour. All the horses and their riders huddled under the rail bridge. All the saplings bent to kiss the soil. Not just any summer, but a June evening when I was 15. And though I have not thought of it since, and though I will never see the like again, that storm for a moment is truth itself. And our present cavern is embarrassed to be seen through an illusion. I'm trying to remember that one thing in... Like, was that thing in Fallen London, was that storm? With the urchins? Am I remembering a thing? Or at least on, like, a rooftop thing. I don't know. My memory is vague. Storm, yeah, okay, yeah. It was like, I'm like, I don't know how to, like, talk about it, be like, am I thinking of this thing correctly? And then it'd be, like, the biggest spoiler everyone's ever heard. I dare to question Mr. Pages about my ministry theories. I very much would like to do so. I'll change. You know what? Let's put on the outfit that it gave me. And then my little thing there. It looks sober and it looks official. Distributing food. No. I don't want to get people's hopes up. It gave me this outfit. I'm satisfied with this. The more often I visit the neighborhood of the bazaar, the more it seems unlike any other part of London. But when I try to imagine where it might have been from, my mind halts. If I can guess, I find I don't want to.
Do you have anything more?
Here's the one about Ferret. I can take my penny without flinching under its stare. Pages continues turning the pages over and going back and forth between them for a long time.
Inefficacious, this way of capturing menaces. There are better ways. The ministry will make them known.
That is enough of my official duties for the moment. There's a tentacled creature spread underneath. I believe you serve its will.
That is not so. It is incorrect. It is disapproved. Don't worry about it. Don't ask me questions. Okay. I'm normal. It's all great. Don't worry about any sort of creatures. Don't worry about it, okay?
I have come to feel...
Yes?
I guess trusting it? I can trust you. You're able to assist me when no one else will do so.
If I choose? Are you sure that I will choose?
Reassure Mr. Pages if he doubts himself? I don't know. I don't know, I feel that's a great... I really like that. I think, I'm like, that's hot, dude. What are you talking about? Shut up. I'm willing to take the risk. I've seen what you have done so far.
No. You've not seen. Nonetheless, the requirement of due warning is fulfilled.
Mr. Pages makes notes while I speak. In some spots, its handwriting grows more agitated. Here and there, it breaks into the cadence of verse. Our future together is maybe crazy to ask. But then again, I've been doing that shit and it's been working out, so...
You show no romantical inclination. Your sentiments are few. This is wise for you, but unfruitful for ourselves.
Determined to drive it mad with unsatisfied... Yeah, determined to drive it mad with unsatisfied... Yeah. I say nothing. I look deep into the shadows of its hood. Its voice rises.
Our intentions are for the benefiting of London... practicum. And experimentalence.
It pauses.
The experiment required sincere appetite. Okay, goodbye.
What a freak. Anyway. Yeah, we can't ask it if it has anything that it needs from us. We can check Ivy's goods for sale. I am intrigued by Ferret. I feel like we can ask whether Ferret needs anything, and maybe we can also look into goods for sale while we're there. Yeah, I am going to change. I'd like to put on my beautiful flower. And I feel like this is better to hang out with Ferret. Usually a good idea to dress down like this for ferrets. I'm satisfied with this. That's what I like to see, real person of the streets wear. Flirt with Ferret. I wish we had met sooner. No one down here holds a candle to you. I'll get someone to hold me Dario, shall I? Have you heard about Her Majesty's palace? They say the cellars is a sight. Rats big as bears is just the beginning. Show a flirtatious interest. I'm listening. Steady on, it's still business hours, eh? There's something down there that has teeth for hands. Sharp teeth. Mark for cowardice? Never. Ask if that doesn't mean claws in practice. Is that any worse than a beast with claws? Now there you have me. Strong point, comrade. Very strong point. Next time I'm down to the pub, I'll ask him that same thing. I meant to ask you whether there's anything I could help you with. Here's a funny one for you. I had a lady in, asking about specialist eradication. I said we don't do that no more. If this is leading to a task, it's probably something outside the usual social circles. Ask what she wanted. Well, what did she say? Oh, a lot of hot air. Threatened me with the district council when we all know they got squashed flat by a stalactite. Well, she did eventually get to the point. Out of politeness, I asked, what's the nature of the problem? And blow me down if she doesn't say there's a gaping chasm opened up in the south bank. She says this thing's living in the caves down there. Says she spotted a tentacle. Can't say I saw much in the way of tentacles when I had a gander. No call for an eradicating, I haven't had the time for a spelunk myself. But so you know as to watch yourself up by the bazaar. Would hate for you to trip and find yourself tumbling into a giant abyss. The second time, that'll be bad luck. We're learning a lot about tentacles this time. If anyone knows the way to this place, it'll be Harjeet. For a moment, no one speaks. Let me look at your goods. What do you sell? A disguise, so I can trail people. Something that'll blend in with servants. Shady and disreputable. I mean... it hasn't anything to do with rats or spiders, but Ferret clearly indulges in a range of additional commerce when the opportunity presents itself. That'll keep the rain off your head and make the constables think you're someone else. At a distance, anyhow. I'll pay a fair price. I'll give you 2 pennies for it. It's a fair price. Thank you, thank you. It's a good choice, that is. Found it under the bed of a certain individual when I was going after the creatures down there. Asked him if it was his, and he turned bright red and said no. So I said I'd do him the kindness of disposing of it for him. Clean enough, though. Good if you want to go around the neighbourhood and not look like yourself. Nice. When plausible stories come readily to mind, close friends fail to recognize me. By the by, I know it's not much by way of social gathering place this short. Can't offer the sort of so to speak atmosphere you get round a pub. But if you do fancy a bit of a visit now and then, warm your hands at the furnace, you're always welcome. No need to have official business before you drop in. Yeah, we'll romance Ferret. I do fancy that. We'll see what comes of this then, shall we? Hell yeah, hell yeah. At this point, I go back to Horatia's. Took up monster hunting, and beneath London. Exciting, exciting. And I doubt... yeah, we just have served a vast creature. Okay. Just for dinner now, then. I think it's our standard outfit that we got on. Oh. I don't know where the others have got to. They do know when supper is served.
Good evening. I'm looking for Archibald. Is he here? Archie? He's upstairs. Listen. Yes? I know all the old maps have been outlawed. But if you've come for his atlas, do you think you could leave it with him? It gives him a lot of comfort, remembering all those little villages in Scotland where his family used to live. Yeah, put in a good word for Archie's map collection. Yeah, leave Archie his maps. He's not doing any harm with them. That isn't why I'm here. Archie, buddy, I definitely, this definitely isn't what I've been thinking about this whole time. I don't think. It's definitely, it's all great. Archie, I hope you're well. I'm sorry, Archibald. I'm here in the line of duty. It's about David Landau. Did something happen to him? I only saw him today. Shortly after your visit, he died by poisoning. Died? The poor man. React with shock. What? But I saw him very recently. I say, lying through my fucking teeth? What? Okay, sure. May he rest peacefully. I'm sorry to have to bring you this news. Is Rachel alright? Is there anyone with her to protect the house? She said you were the last person to speak with David. That the fatal dose must have come from you. I don't understand. There was an inquest and the jury found against you. I'm here to arrest you for murder. Wait a moment. I knew it was just time till something went awry. There's too many folks ill, and can I cure the whole town? Can I have a semi-private conversation with Archie real quick? Can I ask Archie something just for a moment? As long as you stay in sight. Assure him he's not alone. You're not alone. We're all on your side, and we'll come visit you until you're free. Thank you. For sure visiting, dude. I'll come see you. I hope so. I don't think there's much society on offer. Is Rachel alright? How's Rachel doing? Does she have anyone with her? There's her housekeeper, Phoebe, and some friends from her community. They're preparing the body for burial. It can't be left unburied very long. And where's David being buried, then? They mean to take him to a Jewish graveyard at Ball's Pond. Rachel said there might be a dispute with her Spanish relatives that their mother was buried somewhere else, but she did not think it would change the outcome. Where are you taking Archie? Where are you taking him so I may visit him? Newgate prison was destroyed during the fall. For the time being, prisoners are held in the HMS Undulate. Sounds like a very insalubrious environment. Is that a real word, or am I pulling a pages? Never heard it before. Whatever, cold, damp, and infested with vermin. Don't worry, Archie. I've been also romancing somebody who can take care of the vermin. Don't you worry about that. Breathing in the vapors of the Thames might not be good for the health of the prisoners. You're not talking your way out of that way. You're talking your way out that way. No, I mean, if you don't mind, before we set out, I'd like to collect a few doses of this and that. Things that might help to settle bad lungs and prolonged coughs. You're asking whether, before we go, you can be allowed to rearrange your collection of drugs. And bring some of those drugs with you. That isn't quite how I'd phrased it. When you stand accused of murdering a man through the use of potent toxins. Oh. For the sake of your future guards and cellmates, I think I must refuse. I gotta let you go, Archie. I'm sorry. Horatia, I'll be back as soon as I can. Don't let my room out to anyone else. We won't. Don't fret.
You always find that exchange so funny. Yeah, he's trying his best, alright?
We'll get to the bottom of it. Maybe Grizz's high-placed friends at the Ministry will come in handy. It'd be a good thing if they did. There's still dinner on the table, but Horatia doesn't have much appetite. Hey! Boy, oh boy, what? Let's review the day in our journal.
We have 6 pennies!
Boy, oh boy. What a... I want to look over here. Imprisoned beloved! Deceased fan. Skeptical companion, informant. Friend, skeptical ally, antagonist, likable companion, fan. Friend, census filler. Lovable romantic interest, companion, and detractor. Skeptical informant, census filler, skeptical census filler, skeptical census filler. My witty and confiding self, of course, as always. Oh, boy. Oh. Day 270. Which is where we will start next time. Unless we're gonna do this dialogue first, maybe? No, I think I can leave here. I'm sure that there was a save there. I'm sure that there was a save. I'm confident. Last save 7 minutes ago? Never mind. Well, just be like one scene again. Now, let's just go ahead and do this. For a moment after waking, I forget what happened last night. Then it comes back to me. The sight of Archie being taken away. Horatia staring at a plate of uneaten pie. The rest of the evening, strange as it was, then stumbling back to my own bed. There's a save. That's for sure a save. That's what we can do. Thank you, chat, for joining. I have had a delightful time. Oh boy. Truly. And that's why I was so fixated on being like, I need to romance Archie now. It's because I was like, he's gonna go to jail! And I guess, I don't want to, you know what, I guess, when did that game come out? It was also popular. And I haven't engaged with it in a long while, because I played it like when it first came out. Yeah, I definitely played it when it first came out because they were like releasing the chapters as they were coming out, and I remember having to wait for them and being like, ah! But I don't know how spoilery it is for that one because I haven't engaged it in a while. I don't know. I'm just gonna point out that it's really funny, the coincidence between Archie and a character from another game. If you know the game, you'll understand immediately. Of another red-headed character, implied Scottish or Irish, I forget, it's been a while. But you know, who is a doctor accused of a murder, you know? It's really funny that there are 2 dating sims with that in it. You know? If you know, you know, I suppose. I forget how much of a spoiler that is for that other game, so I'm not saying it. That one. Yeah, it's been years since I've played it. But, anyway, chat. Let's see if we can raid, shall we? Oh, what a time. I'm honestly so glad that that worked out. Like, the timing of the end of stream being immediately like, you know, he's arrested, end stream. That's a perfect cliffhanger. It's a perfect cliffhanger, you know. Let's see here. I've rated you recently. Who else do we got? Who's a good... That's a game I want to play on stream, so I'm avoiding spoilers for it. Let's see here.
Do 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 do. Oh, this is a person I only discovered recently. Like, I think within like the last week or so. I'm pretty yeah, cause such a good model. I'm so entranced by the model. So I don't know how to pronounce her name. Rare Trim? Lady Rare Trim? Is how I will guess at it. But God, I fucking love her model so much. And she's playing Peak right now. And I hope you all have a good Peak time. I like watching people play Peak. I should play it. That'd be fun. Should play it at some point or whatever. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining. I've had a delightful time here. Boy oh boy. I think I found like most of the locations too. Who knows? How many achievements are there? I've only gotten the one, didn't I? There's 17 achievements in this game. Fun. Oh no, I got 2. Never mind. Hell yeah. I'm excited to keep playing it. And yeah, so chat, I will see you all on Monday and Tuesday. We are continuing 999. Potentially, I don't know if we're gonna be finishing it on Monday or on Tuesday, but I figure the ending of that is coming soon. Mask of the Rose again next Thursday. Unless I finish 999 on Monday, in which case I will play this on Tuesday as well. Who knows? Oh boy. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a good time over there. Yeah. Go raid. I've run out of words. My word's gone. Word's gone. They're done.